From pretty much the present, this is your host, Adam Graham, bringing you a week of old-time radio detective podcasts from 2012. Because these podcasts are many years old, any offers or information included in the podcast may not be valid unless they're currently reflected on our Great Detectives of Old Time Radio website at greatdetectives.net. Here now is a week of old-time radio detective podcast. Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13 at greatdetectives.net. Give us a call, 208-991-4783, and become one of our friends over on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. Well, it's time for today's episode of Barrie Craig, and the ending's going to be a little confusing. Not the end of the plot, but the final part of the show, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But the title of this week's episode is Ghost Don't Die in Bed.
William Gargan stars as Barrie Craig, confidential investigator.
Murderers, by and large, probably lead very dull lives. But there's no doubt about the way most of them wind up. It's electrifying.
The National Broadcasting Company presents William Gargan in another transcribed drama of mystery and adventure with America's #1 detective, Barrie Craig, confidential investigator.
Barrie Craig speaking. An office in a shabby old building on Madison Avenue isn't the ideal place to spend the summer. It isn't ideal for fall, winter, and spring either. But if you're a confidential investigator, you settle for considerably less than the ideal. When the phone rings, though, you hope. 9 times out of 10, it's only the phone company testing your reflexes. The 10th time...
Craig? Barrie Craig?
Speaking.
This is Mark Reed, Barrie.
Mark, I haven't heard from you.
Listen, I don't have much time. Can you get down here right away?
Well, get down where?
My house. The old tower house. It's right outside Dorning. That's upstate.
Well, I've driven through Dorning.
But don't drive. There's a train at midnight. Faster.
Well, what's my hurry?
Take that train. Tonight, please, Barrie.
But why?
I can't say any more. So long.
Mark. I'd known Marjorie for quite a few years. Nothing special. We'd knocked over a few beers from time to time, discussed the state of the nation, admired sports cars. I'd never figured him for an especially imaginative type. On my way over to the station, I tried to tell myself it was just a fancy way of inviting me to spend a weekend in the country. But then, why had there been terror in his voice?
Ticket, please.
Here you are.
Getting off at Dorning, huh?
That's right. Now, why do conductors always punch tickets and then keep them?
Well, we don't, actually. Except when the passenger is getting off at the next scheduled stop.
That's me. How long before we get to Dorning?
Hour or so?
Train's kind of empty.
Late run, don't get many people.
Makes it nice and quiet and dull.
Moon shining.
Well, who does that help?
Observation platform back of the train.
Well, that's nice. Gives you a better view of nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh?
Blonde girl back there, too. Been there ever since we pulled out of the city.
Now, conductor.
Oh, I ain't trying to promote romance. I'm a little worried about her.
Why?
The way she looked. Frightened, sort of. Heck, she stayed out there all alone for hours now.
Oh, it doesn't have to mean anything.
Oh, that's why I didn't take any official notice. But I'm still worried.
Maybe I'll go back and see if the moon looks the same from the observation platform, huh?
Well, I think that might be a good idea. Only, one thing I maybe ought to tell you.
What's that?
She was carrying her ticket in her handbag. When she opened it to get the ticket, I noticed she was carrying something else in that handbag.
What?
A gun.
A blonde and an observation platform sort of go together, especially when there's a moon around. A blonde and a gun or something else again. Something not nearly so nice. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't move. Don't come any closer to me.
Okay. You don't need a gun to keep me off.
It's pointing right at you. I know how to use it.
You might try using your brains instead.
Don't try.
I'm not trying anything. All I am is a passenger on this train.
Sure, you'd have to say that.
I never saw you before, and I'm sure you never saw me before.
I never saw the man who tried to kill me before either.
Tried to kill you where?
Back in town?
But you did see him.
Well, not really. It was dark. He was in a car. He shot at me.
Well, what did the police say about it?
I didn't go to them. I had to make the train. Why am I telling you this?
I inspire confidence in small children.
I'm not a small child.
You're acting like one. If you let me reach into my breast pocket, I'll show you my credentials.
Credentials?
Yeah, my name's Craig. I'm a confidential investigator.
You get your credentials, but you be careful.
Oh, I'll be very careful. Now, nothing lethal about a card case, wallet. I'll dump them on a chair here, and then I'll move away. Now, you can look at them without disturbing your aim.
All right. Barrie, Craig.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. Now, put the gun away.
Yes.
Good. Now, what's your name?
Ruth Adams.
How do you do? And why would anyone be taking pot shots at you?
I don't know.
Any attempts on you before tonight?
No.
Well, what's special about tonight? This train trip?
Maybe. I've never gone up before.
Gone up to where?
Dawning.
The girl was small, but not skimped. She was pleasant to look at, or would have been had she not been suffering from complete panic. The fact that she was getting off at Dawning might have been a coincidence. I found out back in the club car. Another drink?
No, thanks. I feel a lot better already.
Fine. Now, you're getting off at Dawning.
Yes.
And then you're going on to the Tower House.
Oh.
Well, don't freeze up. My knowledge isn't necessarily guilty knowledge. Or why the old Tower House?
My uncle lives there. It's his house.
Mark Reed?
You know him?
Well, he's the reason I'm on this train. He phoned me, wanted me to come out immediately.
Well, I got a telegram from him. It was surprising because I hadn't seen him since I was a baby. He had a fight with my father.
And your mother was his sister?
Yes.
Is she alive?
No, she died years ago.
And your father?
He's dead, too.
Don't think I'm just being nosy. I'm trying to find a pattern in... you know if your uncle has any other relatives besides yourself?
Alive? No.
Uh-huh.
Have you found that pattern?
The beginnings of one, maybe. The rest will have to wait until we get to the house, which won't be long now. We got off the train. Turned out we were the only people who got off the train. Maybe because Dawning turned out to be nothing but a decaying wooden shack by the side of the tracks.
This can't be Dawning.
Well, it is. Sign on that shack says so.
But...
Hiya, folks.
Easy, Ruth. It's a cabbie.
Buggy's all ready for you, folks. Take you right into Dawning.
I'd hoped we were in Dawning.
No. This here's only the railroad station. Town's a couple of miles south.
Uh-huh. Well, lead the way.
I don't have to ask you folks which hotel you'd like to stop at. Reason is there ain't but one in Dawning.
We're not going to a hotel.
Oh, visiting friends, huh?
That's right. Mark Reed.
Reed?
Yes, at the old Tower House. You know where it is?
Yeah, I know where it is. It ain't south like the town. It's north a bit. Not very far. Just walk up the road here about 1.5 miles.
Oh, hold on. We're hiring you to take us there.
No, you ain't.
Why not?
Well, the further I stay away from that place, the happier I am.
Well, what's wrong with it?
I don't know. I never investigated.
Well, you could be wrong.
Well, I don't want to find out, mister. Would you and the young lady like some good advice? Train's back to the city coming through in an hour. Stay here and get on it.
Well, I'm not that crazy about trains.
Well, you'll thank me for that advice someday.
Well, I'll thank you right now. We're still going to the Tower House tonight. If you're afraid to drive us there, take us into Dorning. We can get another cab there or maybe rent a car.
Okay, mister. Get in.
Ruth?
Uh-huh.
I'll take you to the Tower House.
Thank you.
You didn't have to make no crack about my being afraid.
But you are.
Well, maybe I am. Maybe the reason you're so brave is because you don't know what you're getting into.
I didn't know, but I didn't have to be brave about anything. I was going to visit an old friend in the country, that's all. Or was it?
Barry, I don't like this.
Well, I've been in better cabs.
There's a feeling about this trip. In the middle of the night to an old house. I love lights and people, Barry.
Now, take it easy. Once we get to the house, it ought to be comfortable enough. Mark's a wonderful host. And it looks like we're practically there. Well, high stone wall, gate.
This is it, folks.
Oh, that gate's open. Must lead to a private road. You can turn in and...
Now, the house is about 0.5 mile from the highway here.
Well?
This is where you get out.
You were hired to take us to the house.
This is as far as I go.
I could make you change your mind.
Please, Barry, don't.
Okay, let's go. How much?
$2.
Uh-huh. $2. You can keep the change.
What change?
The tip is for your courtesy and cooperation.
Think you're smart.
Get out of the cab and we'll discuss it.
You think you're smart?
Somebody must love him, but it must be uphill work.
Barry, I'm terrified.
Oh, come on. There's nothing to be afraid of.
No, nothing that we can see.
It wasn't too pleasant 0.5 mile. The girl was frightened. The wind was blowing up. There'd be rain soon. The darkness would complete, and I didn't have the beginning of an idea of what we might be walking into.
I don't like that.
The thunder?
Oh, it was so loud. Who knows what it might wake up.
No. That was only a dog.
That was the hound of the Baskervilles, and I want to go home.
The house is right up ahead on that rise. 50 yards more, and...
That dog is getting closer.
That's a pet.
Whose? Dracula's?
There he is.
There he is. He's going to jump at us.
Doesn't look vicious.
He's as big as a horse.
Here, boy, here.
You're encouraging him.
No. Easy, boy, easy. That's a fine animal. He's more afraid of us than we are of him.
We got a better reason.
He's quieting down. That's a good boy. Come on. We'll take him to the house with us.
I hope they like dogs here. Is that the house?
It must be.
Oh, I don't like it. It looks like a tomb, and Grant never was up here, so...
Oh, it's just an old house. Architect had a lousy sense of humor.
Barry, the dog.
Growling now. Well, what's the matter, boy? What's the matter?
He stopped dead. Barry, he's staring at that house as though...
As though he didn't know it, that's all. Come on, he'll follow us.
He's not following us. Well, he's running away, Barry, in panic.
Well, he's a neurotic hound, that's all. Now, let's stop worrying about him. Your uncle asked us to come down. The house maybe isn't pretty, but so far we haven't seen anything wrong.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barry, knock.
There's a bell pull here.
Oh.
Not exactly a happy tinkle, but...
I'm not sure for whom that bell's tolling, but I hope it's not for us.
I hope somebody answers it soon.
Somebody dressed in the latest in shrouds. I know I'm being silly, but if I weren't, I'd be screaming.
Now, you stick to being silly, while I stick to...
And maybe everybody went to the movies, huh? Oh,
What do you want?
Hello, I hope we haven't
What do
waked
you
you, but, well, I'm Barrie Craig, and this is Miss Ruth Adams.
What about it?
Mr. Reed asked us down.
Who?
Mr. Reed, Mark Reed.
No, Mr. Reed here. You better go.
Here, now, wait a minute. This is the old tower house, isn't it?
It is.
Then Mark Reed's here.
You're insane.
Now, that's my foot blocking your doorway. Now, Mark Reed's here. He owns the house. He phoned me earlier tonight, and he sent Miss Adams a telegram asking us both to come down here.
He didn't phone. He didn't send a telegram. He doesn't live here.
Well, maybe you don't know him. How long have you been?
I've been a housekeeper here for 20 years. Never heard of any Mr. Reed. There's no Mr. Reed here. Go away.
You could be making an honest mistake. You better step away from the door, though. We're coming in.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Oh, reinforcements?
got a gun, Barrie?
The complete householder.
I have a gun, and I'm prepared to use it. Mrs. Dunn, what is all this?
Some story about a Mr. Reed.
Reed?
I'll spell it for you.
That won't be needed. Why are you trying to force your way into my house?
We were invited here.
By whom?
Reed. Oh, maybe I'm getting monotonous, but it's still Reed.
That doesn't explain your presence on my doorstep.
This is his home.
Fiddlesticks. I purchased this house 21 years ago. It is mine. My name is Loomis.
Barrie?
I don't know. My head's starting to spin. Mr. Loomis, has this house always been known as the old tower house?
It is known by that name now. Always is a long time. It has been called the old tower house ever since I have lived here.
Well, for a lead nickel, I'd buy the theory that Reed was a ghost. But ghosts don't make phone calls. They don't send telegrams.
I'm not very well acquainted with the habits of ghosts. I suggest you carry on your investigation into their customs elsewhere. I should like to shut the door.
Oh, sorry, but that rain's pretty strong now. Our cab's gone back to town. Mind our coming in and phoning for another one?
We have no phone.
Well, in that case, we'll accept your hospitality.
I haven't offered it.
You're not going to send a lady out in that rain.
Well, come in, please.
Thanks.
Mrs. Dunn, will you prepare a couple of the guest rooms for Miss...
Adams.
For Miss Adams and Mr. Craig?
Yes, Mr. Loomis.
You can wait here in this room.
We'll wait.
I don't care for guests in my house. Under the circumstances, I cannot help myself. I hope you will find your rooms comfortable, but I do not greatly care. Good night.
He's been taking lessons in how to become the perfect host.
Thanks for trying to cheer me up. It's all so strange. Barrie, where is my uncle?
I don't know. Do you have the telegram with you, the one he sent?
Well, I think... no, not with me. It would be in my bag in another purse.
Oh, your bag. That reminds me. I left it outside on the doorstep. I'd better go get it before it gets drenched to the pigskin.
Come back quick.
Well, don't worry. Now, where did I put... For the second time that night, I was out on Mr. Loomis's doorstep. I began to feel like little Eva heading the wrong way. Well, that didn't work. It would have to be the bells again.
Who the devil? Oh, you.
Me. I was getting Miss Adams' bag when the door blew shut.
Come in, come in.
Ruth. Not in the room I left her. That scream must have come from farther down the hallway. Now, what's this room?
Yes, the library.
Ruth. Ruth. The door's locked. Where's the key?
I don't know. Mrs. Dunn looks after the keys.
There's no time. Excuse me while I try to ruin a library door.
Now, look here.
I'm too busy.
The library's empty.
Not exactly. On the floor near the fireplace. Ruth. Bruised the size of a baseball on the back of her head.
She may have fallen.
Oh, been struck. Ruth. There. All right, take it easy.
My head hurts.
It should. What happened?
Someone hit me from behind. I didn't see.
What made you come to this room?
I heard groans, and then the door was open.
Groans?
From him.
From who?
The man in the chair near the desk. I can't look at him. He was grinning at me.
Yeah, let's get you up now. Come on. There. How's that?
I'm all right.
Fine. Now, which man in what chair?
Right there in that...
There's nobody in that chair.
Your rooms are ready.
But there was someone. A man, a middle-aged man. His eyes were staring straight ahead, and there was blood on his shirt, a lot of blood.
Now, take a deep breath. There's no hurry.
He died as I came in. I could feel the cold air of death on my skin. He grinned at me, and he died.
Oh, this girl is hysterical. This room's always kept shut.
The windows? Boarded up. Only one door. Maybe it was your imagination, Ruth.
No. She did see something.
What?
I've lived in this part of the country all my life. That's how I know. The man she saw was the former owner of this house. He died with a bullet through his heart. In this room. In that chair.
And I was right.
The only thing is, it all happened 80 years ago.
That slowed conversation down to nothing. I took Ruth up to her room. Checked it, made sure no one would be able to get in once she locked the door behind her, and then I started out.
Barrie?
Yeah?
Before I realized that man in the library was dead, I touched him. Then I wiped my hands on his handkerchief. Look at it, Barrie.
Okay. Yeah.
It was blood I wiped off my hands. Do ghosts who died 80 years ago still bleed?
I didn't have a good answer for that. I just made sure she locked her door, and I went off to my room and tried to sleep. I had my troubles. I was glad when morning arrived, along with the eggs, bacon, and coffee. Well, it's a nice breakfast, Mrs. Dunn.
Yes, sir.
I trust you slept well, Miss Adams?
Yes, I slept well.
Yeah, good. That will be your taxi, Mr. Craig.
Well, right on time. Glad he let us finish breakfast. You ready, Ruth?
I'm ready.
All right. Thanks for your hospitality, Mr. Loomis.
Not at all.
We'll find our own way out. Well, what do you know? Mr. Loomis was telling the truth. Let's take a taxi, huh? We got into the cab and drove away. Took a little longer for Ruth to start worrying about it than it had taken me.
Barrie, the cab driver, it's the same one as last night.
Yes, quite a happy coincidence.
Coincidence?
Keep your voice down. No coincidence at all. Our boy up front is working dirty hand and glove with dear Mr. Loomis.
How do you know?
Oh, we found out last night there was no phone at the house. How did Loomis manage to get a cab out here so early in the morning?
Oh. Then after he tried to frighten us away from the tower house, the cab driver stayed here.
Uh-huh.
Shh. What are you going to do with that gun?
Apply the back end of it as soon as he slows up with a turn. Like this. I hadn't any choice. He disapproved of our low-voiced conversation. He was reaching for his own gun when I lent him mine, behind the ear. The car stalled, which was nice. I tied him up, dumped him at the side of the road, and went back to the old tower house.
The dog, he's crying, Barrie.
Yeah, around the side of the house, at the cellar door.
Oh, he's running away.
Probably decided we're friends of Mr. Loomis. This is what he was listening to from the cellar.
That sounds like digging.
Let's go down and check.
Barrie, it's Mr. Loomis. He's digging a hole. That body.
The ghost you saw last night. That's Mark Reed, Ruth. And what Mr. Loomis is digging is a grave. Isn't it, Mr. Loomis?
What?
No comments. Or have you been working too hard?
Get out of here.
I don't think so. Why did you murder Reed?
I didn't. He shot himself.
And you're trying to protect his good name?
Very well. I did murder Mr. Reed. A gentleman with a great deal of cash on hand. Cash he was going to leave to your charming companion.
You reel it off so well, keep going.
I have better ideas for that money. Mark Reed became frightened of Mrs. Dunn and myself, who'd worked for him for so long. He sent for you. I tried to have the cabbie keep you from coming here, but...
Well, such frankness on your part wouldn't be wise, would it? Unless something's changed. Your voice changed quality a few moments ago. Lots of changes. What happened? Mrs. Dunn show up at the head of the stairs with a gun in her hand?
Quick, shoot!
She wasn't quick enough. Amateurs never are. They don't realize how heavy a pull you need on a trigger. Don't worry about her, Mr. Loomis. I just winged her shoulder.
I'm not worrying about it.
I should have realized that. Courtesy stops outside the death cells, doesn't it? We got them all into the cab and drove to Dorning. It had a nice jail. They're glad to welcome Mr. Loomis, Mrs. Dunn, and the cab driver. Mark Reed went elsewhere.
I wish he'd asked you to come to him earlier.
You'd have liked him, but forget it if you can.
I'll try. Barrie, when we were in the cellar, Mrs. Dunn came in, but not from the outside.
From a fake door in the library is where she came. I expected her.
But how did...
You yourself told me when you went into the library, you felt a breath of cold air on your skin. But the windows were all boarded up, as I mentioned, so...
You knew there had to be another door. To the cellar, as it turned out. You know, this is a much nicer trip than the one yesterday.
Mrs. Dunn had just tried to kill you then. You were traveling deeper into danger. Now, about the only danger you're in, unless you get to the other side of the car...
Is, danger of this, sir? Hmm?
Uh-huh.
Barrie.
Yeah?
I got a secret.
What?
I'm not afraid.
Maybe. But I am. Next week's story is called The Corpse That Couldn't Swim. Of course, we didn't really know whether
You have
he
been
could swim or
listening to
not.
William Gargan.
He was
in
dead
another
when we met,
exciting
but-
transcribed mystery drama from the adventures of Barrie Craig, confidential investigator. Tonight's story, Ghosts Don't Die in Bed, was written by Louis Vittes. We regret that with the program you have just heard, we conclude the present Barrie Craig series. We hope you have enjoyed them, and we look forward to bringing them to you again sometime in the not-too-distant future. We would like to call your attention to the fact that next week Dragnet changes time of broadcast, and also that next week Lux Radio Theater joins the NBC network on Tuesday night for your better listening pleasure. Consult your local newspaper for the time of broadcast of the Lux Radio Theater over this NBC radio station. The National Broadcasting Company has brought you an NBC Radio Network production with William Gargan, starring as Barrie Craig, confidential investigator, directed by Arthur Jacobson. Also heard were Jack Moyles, Charles Lung, Betty Lou Gerson, and Virginia Gregg. This is John Lang speaking. Here is some information that will help you to know more about CARE, C-A-R-E. The letters stand for Cooperative for American Remittances Everywhere, Incorporated. It is a non-profit organization specifically set up by America's mass relief agencies to provide an effective, economical way for Americans to send food and other essentials to needy persons overseas on person-to-person basis. CARE is approved by the United States government and works under favorable agreements with countries abroad. You may send a CARE package to a specific person or group. Simply give your name and address and the name and address of the recipient, and you will receive a signed receipt upon delivery. If you do not know someone abroad you want to help, one of CARE's member agencies will choose a needy family for you. $5 delivers the new basic CARE food package containing 26 pounds of meat, beans, sugar, and milk powder. $10 will send the larger standard package. Remember, freedom is threatened when starvation and suffering persist. Food will help whip communism in economically weak countries. Send your contribution today to CARE, C-A-R-E, New York. This is the NBC Radio Network.
Welcome back. I love this episode. Betty Lou Gerson turned in just a fantastic performance as the young heiress in this episode. And once again, Barrie Craig continues to produce some of the best old-time radio mysteries. Now, that ending was a little bit confusing, and this is one situation where being transcribed can be a bit of a disadvantage. At the end of the show, Gargan announces the title of the next episode, but in between the episode being recorded and the episode being aired, the network made a decision to end the current series. Now, usually when you hear, this is the end of the series and we hope to bring it to you again, those hopes are never quite realized. With Barrie Craig, that's not quite the case. We still have quite a few episodes to go through, and I'll tell you a little bit about the next series next week. Of course, the acquisition of the Lux Radio Theater was a huge, it was an important coup for NBC. It would have been more important earlier in the existence of the Lux series. But this was the end of the golden age of radio approaching, and Lux would actually only be on the air on NBC for one season after spending 19 years over on CBS. Well, now we turn to listener comments and feedback. Robin email says, I enjoy your podcast a lot. I noticed in the Barrie Craig series that the police arrive sounding a horn instead of a siren. Is that historically correct? Well, thanks for the question, Robin, out in Tucson. My research on the topic indicates that horns have historically been used by police departments, and I think that that much is true. Was it used by the New York Police Department when Barrie Craig was being recorded? That I don't have any specific information on, but yes, they have been used in years past by police, fire, and ambulances. I received another email, this one from Jeffrey, who says he's enjoying the app immensely. My present favorites are Sherlock Holmes, Agatha Christie, and Barrie Craig. My least favorite is Let George Do It. Well, thanks so much for your feedback. It's much appreciated. That will, and thanks for listening out there. Well, that will actually conclude today's episode. We will be back tomorrow with Monsieur Poirot, and then join us next Monday for another episode of Barrie Craig Confidential Investigator. Well, this week's episode is brought to you by the support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all your financial support. It's time now for today's episode of Poirot, and this one actually came just right after last week, so no lost episodes. The title is The Deadest Man in the World.
Time and the little gray cells. These will always catch the criminal. Agatha Christie's Poirot. From the thrill-packed pages of Agatha Christie's unforgettable stories of corpses, clues, and crime, Mutual now brings you, complete with bowler hat and magnificent mustache, your favorite detective, Hercule Poirot, starring Harold Huber in The Deadest Man in the World.
Mr. Poirot. Oh, thank heaven you're in. I was afraid that... Please close the door quickly. That's better. Thank you. He may have followed me if he knows that I came to you.
Mademoiselle, you have the advantage of me. You know my name. I do not know yours. But no matter. You seem to be in trouble. I have found that a cup of tea is...
Oh, no, I mustn't stay. We haven't time.
Mademoiselle...
Shepherd.
Mademoiselle Shepherd, what you have said is intriguing, but confusing. If you want my help...
I'm sorry. I haven't made anything clear, have I? You see, Derek killed my dog.
Mademoiselle, are you asking me to investigate the death of a dog?
Oh, no, you don't understand. I know I'm telling this badly, but...
Perhaps it is my fault, Mademoiselle, for being impatient and hastening to conclusions, eh?
You see, I live at Manhattan. You've probably never heard of it.
A small suburb of New York, about 37 minutes by train from the Long Island station.
Oh, you know it then?
No, a small hobby of mine. I read timetables.
Oh. Well, I live there with my Uncle James.
Pardon, Mademoiselle, but if my memory does not betray me, James Shepherd is a famous name. Is he not called...
The luckiest man in the world. Yes, that's Uncle James.
I have often asked myself if the newspapers were not wrong to call him lucky. I myself would have them change it to the shrewdest man in the world.
What makes you say that?
A simple deduction. Any man who wins the grand prize in the Dublin sweepstakes 40 years ago takes all his winnings and boldly breaks the bank at Monte Carlo, and then, Mademoiselle, has never gambled since. There is a man who makes good use of his little gray cells.
I suppose some people might look at it that way, but others say that Uncle James is tight.
Well, no matter. Was it your uncle who sent you to see me? Is he also concerned about the death of this dog?
Oh, no. Uncle James mustn't know anything about this. He's very ill, his heart. If he found out what was hanging over me, I'm afraid it would kill him.
I see.
Everything was all right until about a year ago. Uncle James was raising his rose, and we were all very happy. And then Derek Redfield took the house next to ours. He was young and attractive.
And you are also young and attractive, and so you fell in love. But yeah, that is only natural, Mademoiselle.
Yes, but what happened next isn't. Derek is... he's charming, Mr. Poirot, but he was insanely jealous. I noticed it before we became engaged, but he was just difficult then. After we became engaged, well, it was impossible.
So you broke the engagement and returned his ring.
How did you know?
Mademoiselle, that is obvious. You tell me you are in difficulty. You tell me you were engaged. And yet I see no ring on your hand. Voila, you have given it back.
You're right, but that's what started all this. Derek is going to kill me.
Oh, come now, Mademoiselle, you are not serious.
I was never more serious in my life.
Mademoiselle, if we were to suspect every young man who threatened to kill his loved one when the affairs of the heart went badly, poof, half the population would be in jail.
And what about the dog? What about Taffy? He said he'd kill Taffy, and he did.
But, Mademoiselle, what makes you so certain your dog was killed?
This. I knew you wouldn't believe me, so I brought it along. This is the meat, part of it, that poor Taffy found in the garden last night. He ate it and died. It's horrible. Just smell it, Mr. Poirot.
Yes, it is unmistakably poison. I confess this puts a different aspect on the affair.
Then you will come down to Manhattan and help me.
No, mademoiselle?
But why not? Surely you believe me. He told me he'd kill Taffy as a warning. He knew I loved Taffy with all my heart, and he poisoned him. I'm frightened, Mr. Poirot. You must protect me.
Mademoiselle, I am not a guard for the body.
Oh, but you must, I tell you, you must.
Could you not go away for a little while?
Oh, it's no use. He'd follow me. Anyway, I can't leave Uncle James. Oh, Mr. Poirot.
Have you spoken to the police about this?
No, they wouldn't help me. I was depending on you. I thought you'd do something. Seems funny that somebody can be killed. Somebody can know she's going to be killed. Nobody will help her. Doesn't that seem funny to you, Mr. Poirot?
Excuse me, mademoiselle. I had to do that. Hysteria is not only unpleasant, but it also accomplishes nothing.
I'm sorry. Would you mind raising the shade? I'd feel better if there were a little more light.
Not at all. Voila. Better?
Much, thank you.
Perhaps a cigarette. I myself find they have a singularly soothing... Pardon. Hello?
Mr. Hercule Poirot?
Speaking?
This is a warning. If you know what's good for you, stay away from Elaine Shepherd.
Who is this? Mademoiselle, Hercule Poirot has changed his mind. You may expect me at Manhattan this evening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Poirot.
No thanks, mademoiselle. I do not like people who kill dogs, and above all, I do not like to be threatened.
Derek? Derek?
Elaine, here. This way.
Derek. Oh, Derek, my darling.
Anybody see you?
Not a soul. I left the house the back way. You know no one ever comes here. Oh, Derek, why couldn't you come back with me on the train?
Are you crazy? We mustn't be seen together now. That'd ruin everything. Just when we have it all in our grasp.
All right, darling. You know best. Everything went just as you said it would. I was afraid you wouldn't see him pull up the shade.
I knew he might prove difficult, but I was positive that phone call would get him. The clever Monsieur Poirot.
He'll be here this evening.
Sure, just the way I figured it. The servants will be out tonight, and the luckiest man in the world will soon be the deadest man in the world. And we'll have the money.
What about Anne?
Oh, he probably got for a few thousand, but what's the difference to us? We can afford to be generous. There's millions there.
But Anne's his adopted daughter. He's terribly fond of her.
Yes, I know, but Anne's only 7 years old, and you're his niece, his own flesh and blood. You'll see. He's left practically all of it to you.
Yes. I hope you're right, Derek.
What's the matter?
I know we've been thinking about this for a long time, Derek, but the doctors did say that Uncle James doesn't have long to live. Couldn't we...
No. We've been waiting a year now, and his luck's still holding. We might go on waiting for another 10. You don't want that, do you?
No, but...
We want that money now, Elaine. Now, when we're young enough to enjoy it.
Oh, Derek, are you sure nothing can go wrong?
There isn't a chance in the world for anything to go wrong. Unless you slipped up somewhere today.
I did everything you told me to, only...
Only what?
Oh, I don't know.
You're just nervous. Poirot's coming down, isn't he?
Yes.
Then that means he's fooled. I've got everything all set. You know what you have to do when you get back to the house, huh?
I know. I've been through it a million times.
That's a girl. When Monsieur Poirot arrives to stop me from killing you, we'll make him an accessory to another murder.
Here you are, buddy. The shepherd joint.
1,000 thanks.
Okay, but if it's all the same to you, I'd rather have one tip.
And that, too.
Oh, Monsieur Poirot, come in. You don't know how glad I am to see you.
Mademoiselle, it is a great pleasure to receive such a hearty welcome.
There's a deep, dark plot behind my welcome.
I suspected as much.
Yes. You see, tonight is the servants' night out. I didn't want you to run away because you'd have to put up with my cooking.
But, mademoiselle, that will be a pleasure, if I may help.
You?
People who have had the pleasure of sampling the cooking artistry of such famous chefs as Escoffier, Oscar, and the immortal Monsieur de Gouy, these people, mademoiselle, say there is yet one greater chef.
Who?
Hercule Poirot.
Oh, then I'm doubly glad to have you. Oh, there's Uncle's phonograph. That means he's awake. Wouldn't you like to go upstairs and meet him? That is, if you don't mind climbing 3 flights.
Oh, I should be delighted, but did you not tell me that it would upset him to know that I am in the house?
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to tell a little white lie. Now, don't you be surprised at anything I might say.
On that score, be at ease, mademoiselle. I have come to expect extraordinary things from you.
Uncle James, this is Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, my Uncle James.
I've heard of you, Mr. Poirot. Wait until I turn this phonograph off, and then you can ask me some questions.
Questions, monsieur?
Sure. And the only reason I can see for a famous detective like you coming to Manhattan is that you suspect me of murdering someone. All right. Fire away.
No. I assure you, monsieur, my visit has no such purpose.
And then you're here to find out how I broke the bank at Monte Carlo. You'd be surprised how many people want to know.
Well, that of a surety I would love to know. But I am certain that is something beyond my poor powers of discovery, eh?
You're just as smart as they say you are, and I like it. So I'll tell you how I did it. I was just lucky as the devil.
Now, Uncle, Mr. Poirot really came down because he heard about your roses. He's interested in gardening.
Well, of course he is. Any smart man would be. I tell you, Mr. Poirot, the roses are all right. Of course, not as fine as they used to be when I was able to get out and tend to them myself. Now, my greatest pleasure is playing records on this phonograph.
And a very fine machine.
Mr. Poirot is also a good cook, or so he says. He's going to help me with the dinner.
And so I am, mademoiselle. Now, what do we have?
Well, there's a duckling.
With a sauce bigarade. I insist on it.
If you know how to make it.
But of course.
And some string beans. But I can take care of those. You just boil water and...
No. It is a sacrilege. You must not destroy the flavor. They must be steamed gently, mademoiselle. And
all right, you win. Come along and show me.
I will indeed, mademoiselle. Directly after I have my bath, I will make a sauce bigarade that would make Escoffier himself jealous. Ah, mademoiselle, I thank you for a magnificent dinner. Superb.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And the sauce bigarade?
A masterpiece. I have never prepared it better.
I hope you didn't mind my asking Derek over after dinner.
No, I did not mind, but I do not see what you hope to accomplish.
I know it's probably silly, but if Derek sees that you're actually here, he'll realize that I'm serious and leave me alone.
I shall not threaten him, mademoiselle. Threats are useless.
No, there he is. No, don't bother. I'll let him in.
Elaine, I got your message. I came right over. Does it mean you forget? Who's this?
May I present Monsieur Hercule Poirot? This is Derek Redfield.
Poirot? Well, if you did this to impress me, Elaine, you've certainly succeeded. I've heard of you, Mr. Poirot.
And I of you, monsieur.
Yes, I know. I can just imagine what Elaine's been telling you. You must think I'm a pretty bad sort of guy, but, you really got me in a spot, Elaine. How about a little drink to sort of help me out, huh?
Would you like something, Mr. Poirot? Little sherry or port or something strong?
Port will do excellently, mademoiselle.
Then if you'll just press that button next to your chair, the maid will bring it. I'm too lazy to move.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose Elaine's told you how I made a complete fool of myself and scared her half to death, Mr. Poirot. But I hope you can realize how it is when a fellow's in love.
Mademoiselle, it has just occurred to me. There is no maid to bring the port unless she has already...
Of course, I completely forgot how stupid of me. It's only a little after 9. Servants won't be back until 11. I'll get it.
Hey, what did you ask me over for? To ignore me? I was hoping that maybe we could straighten everything out tonight.
I'll tell you exactly why I called you when I come back.
The danse macabre, eh? Monsieur Shepard seems to have a rather morbid taste in music.
Look, Mr. Poirot, you can ask me any questions you like, but I've got to convince you that I don't mean any harm to Elaine.
Tell me, monsieur, you did kill her dog?
Well, yes.
Here we are. I hope you'll find the port to your liking, Mr. Poirot.
Elaine, I just admitted that I killed Taffy, but I only did it because I love you. You know, sometimes you want to hurt the person you love.
Derek, I asked Mr. Poirot to come down here to show you that I'm serious. When I tell you I never want to have anything to do with you again. I can never forgive the way you've acted. And if you make any more threats, Mr. Poirot will know how to deal with it.
But, Elaine, if you'll only listen...
I have nothing more to say to you, Derek. Oh, Uncle's turned off the Victrola. What time is it, Mr. Poirot?
It is 9:15, mademoiselle.
I'd better run upstairs and see if Uncle wants anything. Good night, Derek.
But, Elaine...
I said good night.
Mr. Poirot, I'm desperate. Maybe you can understand the way I feel. Would you talk to her and put in a good word for me?
I am afraid, monsieur, that I would find it slightly ridiculous for me to plead the suit of a man who terrifies a lady to such a degree that she seeks my services to protect herself from him.
But I...
Sacre bleu! Mademoiselle! Mademoiselle!
It's Uncle James. He's fallen out of the window. He's dead.
Good morning. What's your name?
Hercule Poirot. And yours, my little one?
Your name is funnier than mine. I'm Anne. Anne Shepherd.
Ah, then you are the sister of Mademoiselle Elaine.
Oh, no, Elaine's my cousin. Not really, because I'm adopted.
Ah, yes, I see. Your father was...
Do you think Daddy will be away long? He told me this morning that he went away.
As to that, I could not say, but...
How did your mustache get to grow so long? Daddy has a mustache, but not one like that.
Ah, ma petite, very few men have. How long have you been living with your daddy?
Oh, a long, long time. But you haven't told me whether your mustache is real.
I assure you, my little one, it is real. Just like your hair.
Oh, you have to brush your mustache then like I have to with my hair?
Oh, yes, indeed. One has to take care of a mustache, you know.
You show me how you brush it now?
I would like to, ma petite, but I have not the time.
What is ma petite?
It is French. It means my little one.
When Daddy comes back, I think I'm going to learn French.
You love your daddy, eh?
I should say so. Are you going to live with us now?
Perhaps for a little while.
How long?
I do not know. It depends, you see, my little one.
Why? Is it because of the noise last night?
Dis donc, do you like fairy tales?
Oh, yes. Sometimes I tell them to myself. Go for a walk in the woods and I make them up.
Oh, but how that is nice, eh? Perhaps you would tell me one sometime, eh?
Oh, no, I'd rather have you tell me one. I like you.
And I like you, my little one.
You tell me the story about the Snow Queen.
Oh, alas, that is a fairy tale I do not know. But I will tell you another one. Once upon a time, there was a great, big forest. And in this forest, there lived a very little girl.
Now I've seen everything.
Inspector Stevens, do you know Mademoiselle Anne Shepherd?
Hello, little girl.
Hello. He was telling me a fairy tale.
I heard him. But would you do me a favor and leave me alone with Mr. Poirot for a little while?
All right. If he promises to finish the story.
I promise.
Bye. Don't forget your promise.
Well, Poirot, there doesn't seem to be any trouble about this one.
No. The coroner, he has ascertained the cause of death?
No question about that. He died from a fall out of his bedroom window onto those jagged rocks while you and Miss Shepherd and Mr. Redfield were down here in this room.
Are you quite certain, my friend?
You told me neither of them left the room.
Well, Mademoiselle left to bring some wine, but she did not have sufficient time to run up 3 flights of stairs.
And he was wearing a wristwatch, which was pretty well smashed up. The hands had stopped at 9:15. There was a medicine bottle and a spoon on the floor near the window. Now, what I figure is that he must have felt sick, got up, tried to get the medicine, and he fell out of the French windows.
Perhaps.
Yeah. What do you mean, perhaps?
Me? I have an idea it was no accident.
You mean you...
Yes, my friend. Murder.
What? Murder?
A particularly vicious and carefully planned murder.
You know who did it?
I think so.
Well, what are we waiting for, Poirot? Let's get going.
Gently, my friend, gently. I think it was murder. I even think I know how it was done. But alas, I could not prove it. The murderers would get clear away in a court of law.
You mean you're going to let them get away with it?
No, that I will most certainly not allow. But we must annoy them, Stephen.
That's the first time I've ever heard of annoying murderers. I generally arrest them.
I do not like murderers, my friend. And when we arrest these, we will make certain they are not set free. The little gray cells, Stevens. The little gray cells have found a way.
What do you mean?
Murder breeds murder, my friend. And a murderer always repeats. If he poisons once, he poisons again. If he stabs once, he stabs again. If there is an accident once, there is an accident again.
What are you going to do about it?
Me? I shall help to create an accident. I am going to telephone a lawyer.
And now that we are all together, I think that we can proceed with the reading of the will. As the late Mr. Shepherd's attorney, I am the trustee of the estate. I, James B. Shepherd, being of sound mind and body, do hereby. I believe that we can skip all that. Here. All my property, both real and personal, I leave to my adopted daughter, Anne Mary Shepherd, to be held in trust for her until she attains the age of 21. To my loving niece, Elaine Shepherd, I bequeath the sum of $2,000.
Some water, please. It appears Mademoiselle Shepherd has fainted.
about it. What happened? Will you stop shaking and tell me?
Uncle James left everything. Left it all to Anne. What? All of it.
I don't believe it.
True. We were all there. McBride read it to us.
But it's impossible. Didn't he even mention you?
Yes. He left me $2,000.
$2,000. That's good. That's very good. What are we going to do with $2,000?
I don't know. Oh, Derek, it's all gone wrong. I knew it when I knew it. I'm sorry we ever started. We never should have done it.
Hey, wait a minute. I think I have an idea. Sure, that's the solution. It's easy.
What?
If you'd only stop and think, you'd see the way it has to be.
Derek, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who inherited the money, Elaine?
Why, Anne... No. No, Derek.
I say yes.
Derek, you mustn't. Listen to me. Remember what you said about planning things? The people who didn't think things out made mistakes.
Never mind that. I know what I'm doing.
No, Derek, we planned something, thought it all out. Look what happened. Even if we do something to Anne, I still won't get the money.
Don't be a fool. You have to get it. You're the only living relative. Now, listen, Elaine. Inspector Stevens has gone back to New York. We're perfectly safe.
I won't help you do anything to Anne.
What makes you so soft about Anne all of a sudden? A bride who doesn't even belong to your family. Where does she come in for anything?
Oh, Derek, I'm frightened. I won't do this with you.
Oh, yes, you will. That's one thing I'm sure of now. We're together, Elaine. Together for life. Don't forget you were with me on one murder. And you're going to be with me on another.
Come in.
Mademoiselle, I have come to say goodbye. My train leaves within 10 minutes.
Oh, yes. This has been so dreadful, I hardly know what to say to you. Such a terrible accident. If you'll send me your bill...
No, mademoiselle. You owe me nothing.
That's very kind of you. Of course, now I'm afraid I shall have to get used to economizing.
Mademoiselle, before I go, is there anything you would like to tell me?
Tell you? Why, no, I can't think of anything.
You are no longer afraid of Monsieur Redfield?
To tell you the truth, I've had so many things to think about. I haven't even given Derek... Well, he hasn't entered my mind.
What are your plans?
What?
Do you intend to stay on here with Mademoiselle Anne?
What? I hadn't considered it. I don't know.
She is a very charming child. I spoke to her this morning and told her the truth about Monsieur Shepherd. She is very sad. I think you should see that she is helped.
Oh, I intend to. I'll do everything in my power.
I am sure you will, mademoiselle. Au revoir.
Walk much more, Elaine.
Oh, you've got to grow up to be big and strong. Remember, I promised you ice cream.
Don't think I'd like it now. Can't we play Indian?
I didn't know little girls played Indian.
I didn't make it up. Roy taught me. You know Roy, Uncle Jerry?
No.
So sorry. He's a boy lives in a big house down the road. See, this is the way we play. I run away and hide.
Anne! Blast that brat.
You'll frighten her. Anne, dear. Come back.
Where did she go?
Here I am. See, I'm very good at it. Sometimes even Roy can't find him. He's a scout.
Anne, I don't want you to do that again.
Yes, you might get hurt. There might be some bad men in the woods.
Oh, pooh.
Come here, Anne.
But you're so near the edge.
I said come here.
No, I don't want to.
Anne, did you hear me?
Yes, but I don't like you. Gonna run away and hide.
You're not going to run anywhere. There, I've got you.
Oh, Mr. Poirot.
Mr. Poirot. So you didn't take the train?
As you see. I am afraid that woods and flowers do not agree with me. I must have the fever of the hay.
Cut it out.
Pardon?
That means stop trying to fool us. You're a little cleverer than I thought.
A little? Oh, monsieur, for the sake of courtesy, let us say a great deal, eh? Come here, Anne.
Go.
Just how clever are you, Poirot? Hold still, Anne.
Ah, monsieur, really. Such a transparent little plan, eh? You send a charming young lady to my apartment with a very sad tale. She is so distrait. I must protect her from this terrible fiancé. And everything prepared for me, even to the poisoned meat. This meat so strongly dosed and evil-smelling that not even a starving dog would have eaten it, monsieur. So I say to myself, these people must have a reason for wishing Hercule Poirot at Marathon. What is it? And that evening I find out. You have murdered Monsieur Shepard.
I told you. Shut up.
Is that all you have to say, Poirot?
And you, mademoiselle, the window shade. Did you really believe that such an old trick would deceive Hercule Poirot? You become hysterical and you need light. Oh, mademoiselle, you asked me to raise the shade, and then the so convenient telephone call.
So what? You can't prove we murdered anyone. We were right there with you when Shepard died.
Ah, no, monsieur. Monsieur Shepard did not die at 9:15. You killed him earlier, much earlier, before dinner, in fact, while I was bathing. That is the only possible time. It is easy to set the hands of his watch. Then you came over and played your little comedy with me.
Oh, you're crazy. You heard him playing his Victrola as well as we did.
I heard the Victrola, monsieur.
Then if he was dead, who started?
That, monsieur, is what makes me to burn. I started it myself, when Mademoiselle Elaine asked me to press the button for the servants. After making so much bother about their being out, you simply had the wire set for that button to start the racket automatically in Monsieur Shepard's bedroom. That was supposed to prove he was alive. You removed the wires last night.
All right. You have it all figured out. But you've overlooked one thing.
I think not. It is not Hercule Poirot who makes mistakes.
But you made one this time. This is the last bit of detecting you'll ever do because you're going over the cliff.
No, Derek, no.
Here, hold the kid for me.
Monsieur, you are even more stupid than I thought.
Yeah, this is perfect. Everyone knows the kid liked you. You went walking together and fell over the cliff. Those shoes of yours weren't made for the country. Another accident.
I think not. Give me the child, mademoiselle.
This is it.
All right, Inspector. I believe you've had enough.
There we are, Redfield. You haven't a chance.
Oh, you little smart aleck. You'd never have proved a thing if the will hadn't left all that money to that brat. You couldn't have proved it.
Precisely, monsieur. That is why I induced the lawyer to read a false will. The real one left everything to Mademoiselle Elaine.
Be sure to listen again at the same time next week when Agatha Christie, America's favorite mystery writer, brings you her favorite detective, Hercule Poirot, starring Harold Huber in The Book and the Corpse. Agatha Christie's Poirot is directed by Carl Eastman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, once again, we get another inverted mystery solved pretty capably by Poirot. I think Harold Huber did a good job as well in building the rapport with the little girl and that sort of relationship. I think that kind of made this episode work well. The one thing I was kind of questioning, when I was listening to it, is that it did seem like he put the girl in a great deal of risk in order to solve this case. But I guess he thought with the police nearby that was, how he was going to catch the murderer. Poirot is definitely not someone you try to fool. Well, we received a listener comment on Facebook from over in Delaware. Barb says, thanks for the excellent podcast. I've been a long-time subscriber. I really miss Nero Wolfe, though. Will he be coming back anytime in the future? Well, thanks a lot for the question, Barb, and it's something I'll definitely consider. We have dozens of great, short or mid-length series that we've not gotten to yet. Shows like Mr. and Mrs. North or Rocky Fortune. But there has definitely been a pretty strong demand for both Nero Wolfe and also for Pat Novak for hire. So if I do a sort of play it again, I will consider doing the Nero Wolfe series. I know that the archive is available, so you can listen. If you have iTunes, you can just listen to the whole series whenever you'd like. But I know that the great feature of the show is kind of having a new episode to look forward to each day. So I appreciate that, and I will definitely keep that in mind. Barb posted another post saying, I forgot to add that I'm so happy to hear Poirot again. I've been missing that series. Well, I've been glad to bring it to you. It's not as, it hasn't been out there as much as some of the other series, and it's so much fun to hear this sort of different take on this classic character. So I'm glad you've been enjoying it, and that'll actually do it for today. We will be back tomorrow with Let George Do It, and then join us next Tuesday as we'll see how Poirot uses his little gray cells to solve yet another mystery. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the support of our listeners. Thank you so much for your support. And now it's time to get into today's episode of Let George Do It. This one's called Christmas in January, and it has no relation at all to the fact that the Orthodox Church does actually celebrate Christmas in January. Entirely different thing. So here we go. Here now is Christmas in January.
Personal notice. Danger's my stock and trade. If the job's too tough for you to handle, you got a job for me, George Valentine. Write full details.
Standard Oil Company of California, on behalf of independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations throughout the West, invite you to Let George Do It. Christmas in January, another adventure of George Valentine.
Looking for a picture, lady?
Oh, hello, buddy. Hey, how much is that one?
This one?
Yeah.
The oil painting in the building? It's a street in Paris.
Looks more like Oswego.
No, somewhere on the left bank, I presume. You see, the painter lived
never
in...
mind the travel notes, Jack. Just how much, huh?
Well, I'm afraid it's probably a good deal more than you could afford, sister.
Buddy, you see that big white convertible out there at the curb?
Yeah?
Well, is it yours?
Oh, well, I didn't mean exactly.
What do I gotta
that, but...
do? Wear tights? The name's Charity Dufresne. I'll buy you a seeing-eye dog.
Oh, Mr. Frayne.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Gosh, I've even got pin-ups of you myself. Holy smoke. I guess I've seen every one of your pictures 3 or 4 times.
Well, then you should pay more attention to details, like my face. Now, come on, fan club. How much, huh?
Huh? Oh, the picture.
Yeah.
Well, look, if it's for your own house, I mean, you would... Who sent you to this place?
Don't flatter yourself. It's a junk shop. And don't worry, I won't tell anybody. I want to buy a gift, that's all.
Oh, I see. Well, if you're giving it to someone you like,
I know what kind of a picture it is. I'm giving it to somebody who should use it as a winding sheet, I hope.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's very appropriate. It's $250.
Here, Jessie Jane.
If you'll wait just a second, I'll wrap it up for you so nobody will notice.
I'll wrap it myself, thank you. I brought my own stuff. This, buddy, is going to be something real special. You know who it's for? An octopus. You know what it's for him for? A Christmas present. Yeah, in January.
Yes, that's my dear Charity. As wholesome and appetizing as a tube of ant paste. Oh, but she adores me. Worship is the proper word, perhaps. She's like a yo-yo to which I hold the string.
Yeah, sure. But, look, she got out of the car, Mr. Wick, and walked into the shop.
My dear Mr. Valentine, you will keep your eye on the doings of Miss Charity Dufresne. How about that, Miss Brooks? Did he just watch the doings, or did he let his eye wander to what's already been done by her beneficent creator?
Well, I was right there with him. She's very attractive, but
I'm trying to tell you what she did, Mr. Wick, if you'll just let me.
Would you like a drambuie, either one of you? The only drink worth drinking. Because, like a woman, a drink should be stimulating to the senses, but easy to see through. Jukes, where's that bottle of Drambuie you brought to town from the hovel? My country place, Mr. Valentine.
Well, no thanks. Really, Mr. Wick.
How should I know, Puss? I've been busy with the lights.
Look, Mr. Wick, I'm trying to give you a report.
Of course you are, my dear man. Of course you are. You heard her call me an octopus, you said. Yeah, isn't that wonderful, Duke?
Yeah, I guess so. You mean one of them things?
Don't you wish you had thought of it? Jukes is so prosaic when he calls me names. Used to be a mule skinner's apprentice, I believe.
I was a male nurse. I was studying to be a pharmacist.
Yes. Let's not bore the people, Jukes. Just run and fetch them a brandy.
My name is really Anthony.
Of course, dear boy, they understand. Mr. Valentine knows a Jukes when he sees one. Now hop.
All right, boss. I'll see what I can find.
My companion, isn't he delightful? The jester, the court fool. And I'm tied to him like a millstone. I've been ill, you know, so my wife hired him to fetch and carry. And then when I was helpless and at his mercy night and day, she ran away. Makes a rather charming story, don't you think? I call it the Frau's Revenge.
Yeah. I didn't even know you were married, Mr. Wick.
Oh, miserably. Don't you ever read my column? Good heavens, man, let me inform you. It's the sort of rounded anecdote Walcott would have adored. She was my secretary, you see, in years past, until in my bestial fashion I decided I could save a good bit of expense if I married her and stopped her salary. However, fate in his hairy-handed way...
Never mind. I've heard enough vocabulary for one day. I'm a busy man, Mr. Wick. You don't want to check over my report? Okay, forget it. Goodbye.
I could recite your stupid report by heart, Mr. Valentine. I asked you to observe the suspicious actions of Miss Dufresne.
Look, she only bought a picture. I wouldn't have taken the job if I'd have known you just wanted me to snoop.
An original oil painting of a Paris building and street. Now tell me, there was a lamp in the background, wasn't there? And two children rolling a red hood.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Of course, I don't suppose you noticed the name, the artist's signature.
Well, it was kind of a funny painting. Didn't mean anything to me. Something like Petrillo, that's all I read of it.
What?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Valentine. Oh, my poor little yo-yo will be spinning so fast she won't know what hit her.
What on earth are you talking about, Mr. Wick?
It will all be in print, dear one. I never give away the end of a story before it's written. Tell me, do you think green lights will look well on a blue Christmas tree?
A what?
Mr. Valentine, you have your check. Goodbye. Out at the hovel tonight, it's Christmas, didn't you know? Yes, in January. Now get out of here. Run along. I'm a busy man.
Not so fast, Buster. Not so fast, please. What's the big joke in this picture deal? What kind of a stunt are you up to? You dragged me into being a party to something I know nothing about.
Curious. Life and death, Mr. Valentine. The death of pride. The world is a yo-yo, didn't you know, for a man like me? So read about it tomorrow in my obituary column.
Christmas in January, yo-yos, paintings. What kind of a loony character?
Trio, George, that's it. And he painted Paris streets and buildings.
Huh?
And you said she bought it for $250.
Yeah, that's right.
An original painting by Utrillo.
Huh?
Would you like to find out just what kind of a snide story Mr. Wick is getting ready to write? That I'm afraid we helped him to write?
Now, look, don't rub it in. What don't I know? Besides everything.
Come on. We're going to a real art store, George.
Huh?
Because you want to bet the lead his story will be all about Miss Charity Dufresne buying a fraudulent painting? Well, darling, a real Utrillo should sell for at least $15,000 or $20,000. And not just on Christmas.
$17,250.
Yeah, well, look, friend, we already know that. We found it in the catalog at one of the other places we went. But what
There's lots of new interest in your trio right now, you know.
But that shop we told you about, it must sell fake paintings, isn't that right?
It must. It does. Copy and imitations. But it doesn't always bother to mark them as such, well, like the one you saw.
All right, but Brooksy, look. So the dame bought him a fake painting for a gift on a fake Christmas. She doesn't like him anyway.
On a fake what?
Oh, well, never mind. Enough people are confused already. But look, Angel, I don't understand why that should make the old goat so happy. How my telling him about it would give him any hold over her.
Mr. Valentine, I, too, am an ardent reader of Francis Xavier Wick, his column, his books.
Yeah?
He has a passion for what he calls the rounded anecdote, I believe.
Huh?
Well, I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about, but mine is the gallery which owned the original of that trio painting, you know, the real one.
Of course. That's why we came here out of curiosity to confirm that price of $17,000.
Yes, and you leave in greater curiosity, too, young lady. And I'll be worse off than you are, because I sold that real trio for just that price and sent it out not 2 minutes before you walked in to a man who phoned. The old goat himself, to Francis Xavier Wick.
What?
Yes, he said he wanted it wrapped as a Christmas gift. He was going to present it to a woman named, Charity Dufresne.
Brooksy, we're out of order. Curiosity killed a cat.
Shh, George, that woman's coming back.
Mr. Valentine, Mr. Frayne seems to be busy right now. She's on the hall telephone, talking to an art dealer back in town.
Oh, yeah, well, we only came out here to the hovel to find out...
Oh, you're quite welcome. There've been guests coming and going all evening. It's Christmas here, didn't you know?
How could we forget?
Mr. Wick was ill at the real Christmas time, but of course he can't celebrate it unless he can get out of bed, unless he can dress up as Santa Claus.
Oh, well, that explains part of why...
Unless he can give presents and receive them in person. Wouldn't be Christmas without people, would it? Wouldn't be anything without people, would it? Around him all the time, his court, his fools, his... Oh, well, come in, join the party. The great man has just served liqueurs. Perhaps you'd like some. Join me in a creme de menthe. Maybe you'd rather have hemlock.
Oh, wait a minute. Look here. We know we're prying. We only want to find...
You came out to warn Mr. Frayne that Mr. Wick... What he was up to, of course. Well, I'm sorry. She's already found out. She's crying with embarrassment, and she's at the telephone trying to buy the most expensive painting in the gallery for Mr. Wick.
Oh, it makes less and less sense.
You see all the paintings around here? Mr. Frayne has bought many of them. Real ones. Thousands and thousands of dollars of gifts to him in years past. So this year, she got caught trying to give him a pony, that's all. I'm not sorry for her.
I get it. She hates him. But why does she give him things at all? Hey, what's he do? Blackmail people?
Oh, blackmail. Mr. Valentine, he tortures people.
I say, have you seen him anywhere? He served the drinks and then went out for a minute, and I've got to be running back to... Oh.
Mr. Keller, of course I haven't seen him. I've been here for an hour myself. He hasn't even spoken to me.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wick. I didn't know.
Hold it, please. You're Mrs. Wick?
Well, who did you think I was? A dear, dear friend like Mr. Keller here? Like Charity Dufresne? Mr. Valentine, do you know what this man gave my husband tonight? A Cadillac.
If you don't mind, Mrs. Wick.
Oh, yes, it embarrasses him. It embarrasses all of them. Well, come in here under the Christmas tree. If you can stand the hideous green light, I'll show you the biggest pile of loot
Mrs. Wick, forget it, will you please?
Christmas in January. Christmas for Santa Claus. Diamond cigarette lighters, statues, paintings, money. And all from torture, Mr. Valentine. Just lying there. I saw him just lying there, the door to the bathroom, and that hideous Santa Claus.
Be quiet, Mr. Frayne.
Lying on his face, the side of the door. Wick! Francis!
Here, I'll give you a hand.
If I could turn him over, he must have fainted.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we'd better move him. But if his pulse means anything, Santa Claus Wick is dead.
We'll return to tonight's adventure of George Valentine in just a moment. Did you know that 60% of all auto repairs can be avoided? Yes, 60%. When motorists follow one simple rule. Bring in your car for chassis lubrication every 1,000 miles. When you get a chassis lubrication for your car at your standard station or independent Chevron gas station at regular intervals, you're money ahead. These men service more than 50 different wear spots that can cause trouble when neglected, and they take the time to do it right. It's a car saver service that assures longer car life and a smoother, cushioned ride free of squeaks and rattles. And note this, if your car has an automatic transmission, you'll get the correct factory-approved fluid for lubricating this precision-made unit. So avoid repair bills. Keep your car young. Every 1,000 miles, get chassis lubrication service at an independent Chevron gas station or a standard station, where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. Now back to tonight's adventure of George Valentine. Francis Xavier Wick, the columnist, the gossip, the collector of rounded anecdotes. The man who this year was celebrating Christmas in January. And why? Apparently because he likes to collect presents, too. He wouldn't miss Christmas for anything. Well, if your name is George Valentine, you wouldn't either. Yes, by now you've learned enough about the man in the Santa Claus suit to know that his vast collection of friends and retainers are not exactly loyal to him. In fact, one of them has just murdered him.
Murder, George?
Well, there's no blood, Angel.
No marks on the back of his head under the cap.
Don't touch him, Mr. Keller. I'll do that.
Whatever you say. It wouldn't be surprising if he were murdered, I suppose. People all around him, always with him, and yet easily the most disliked man in the world.
You should know, Mr. Keller. I understand you gave him a car tonight as a gift.
I'd rather not incriminate myself, if you don't mind.
Well, I don't like to disturb the mask and whiskers, but...
George!
Yeah. His face. It's not Mr. Wick at all.
It's the court jester, the fool.
It's Jukes who's been murdered. Poisoned. Look at his face. But where is Francis Xavier Wick?
But I saw Wick, I tell you, before he put on that ridiculous costume. Or rather, he had just part of it on.
When was that?
Half an hour earlier, I suppose. I don't know. It was before Mr. Frayne got here.
What about the other guests? The people who brought all those other presents?
They'd gone. They'd already left.
Just who are you, Mr. Keller? What are you doing here?
What? Good heavens, man. I'm a banker, but that doesn't have anything to do with it.
For some reason, you give huge gifts every Christmas to Mr. Wick. Just like Mr. Frayne, like the others.
Well, stop harping on it. It's a fact, that's all. I'm certainly not going to explain it. Why should I? I didn't try to kill the man.
Well, somebody who was left in the house must have.
All right. But it's Jukes who's dead, not Wick.
And you can't even tell me when they changed parts, when Jukes started playing Santa Claus?
No, what of it? Charity Dufresne told you where we all were, and now confirm it.
Mr. Valentine.
Yeah, right here, Mrs. Wick.
The little summer house. The studio. Out where he does his
All right,
writing.
come on, now get your breath. What's the matter?
I found him.
You what?
My husband. He's unconscious.
Oh, leave me alone. I'm fine, I tell you. I'm
darling.
fine. I'm fit as a grave digger's shovel. You twisted my ankle when I fell, that's
Here,
all.
sit down.
Now stop pawing at me, Janet. You're my wife, not my
All
secretary.
right, stop talking, you two. The side door out there's open, and there's blood on the floor where you were.
Blood is from my head. Very high quality. I fell because I was struck, and I was struck because the worm turned. That's why.
The worm?
Miss Brooks, all my life I've pampered myself by having a retainer. Someone night and day, like Janet here.
Francis, please.
I've never been a well man, and besides it amuses me to watch lackeys work.
Buster, why don't you...
It was Jukes who hit me, you cretin. Who else would it be?
Oh, yeah, Jukes. Go on.
I was wearing a Santa Claus suit, as I recall. Where is it? On him, you say. He called me out here to the studio. He knocked me out. A child could deduce that he took my suit. Now you wake me up saying he's dead. Well. So be it. Oh. Wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. Thou wert taken for thy better. Well, don't stare at me. I'm disappointed in him, that's all. But we shouldn't judge the worm just because he turned. The temptation was just too great, I suppose. There's over $100,000 worth of gifts in there under that Christmas tree, and a brand new car outside to make a getaway in. Can you blame him for wanting to step into my shoes?
Okay, Mr. Wick. 2 and 2 is 4. He knocked you out intending to take your place so he could collect the last couple of gifts and get by the servants on his way out.
Only who poured those drinks, George?
I didn't, I assure you.
Jukes did. It must have been he. That's when I came into the house, and I was so upset because he wouldn't even speak to me. I thought it was you, Francis. He passed around drinks and wouldn't even speak to me.
And I suppose you wept copious tears into your usual creme de menthe.
Well, it's logical he would have served drinks to cover not talking.
And they were left standing. I remember that, too. He left them for quite a time to open a present. Anyone could have touched them.
Well, what's the matter with you?
I was thinking what a beautiful story it will all make, particularly the ending.
Well, laugh out of the other side of your face, Busty. Somebody wanted to kill you and didn't succeed.
Exactly what I mean. That's the most fascinating part. Read my column tomorrow, young man.
Oh, I'll give you something to read. You too, Mrs. Wick. There were only 3 people who could have tampered with a drink. You, Mr. Keller, and Charity Dufresne.
They both hate Francis. I'm sure either one
Keller
of them...
and Charity both agree they were together all that time.
Oh, George.
Yeah, that's right. You heard me. They gave each other alibis.
Listen, that must be the police car coming. I'd better get over to the main house to...
Janet!
George,
Janet.
grab her.
Why? Police will be here in a second. She won't go far.
Oh, what on
Besides,
earth?
I want to straighten this guy before they come.
Oh, you mean you're going to carry me back to the house? Good. I don't want to miss any fun, and my ankle won't
$100,000 worth of gifts from people who hate you. But it isn't blackmail because you give them gifts, too. And you make them play a farce like this Christmas in January.
Mr. Valentine, I'm so pleased that you figured me out. People are contemptible. I despise them.
Oh, yeah, famous people, rich people. You like to watch them suffer.
I know where their bodies are buried. Keller, Charity, all of them. Blackmail? No. I've never threatened anything. We just exchange gifts. And the most contemptible and amusing thing about people is their willingness to believe that I ever would write what I know about them. They're afraid. They never know. And so they really are blackmailing themselves.
I think you must be the most horrible man who ever lived.
Skip it, Brooksy. Come on. He's cleared it up. Let's go.
Oh, Mr. Valentine.
So long, Wick.
Oh, Valentine, wait. You're not going to leave me.
Why not? Oh. Because somebody still wants to kill you?
What?
Well, that doesn't bother you, does it? You were laughing about it a minute ago.
Ridiculous, of course not. But now, see here, with this ankle...
You're comfortable. Just relax. Police will get around to you later on.
No,
maybe.
Valentine, no, you don't.
See you in the morning. Read my column for the last chapter. Well, Brooksy, this is one case that I don't particularly care if I ever...
What's the matter, George?
I don't know. Listen.
Just the police car in the driveway, that's all.
Oh, I'm way, way wrong. That guy's quicker than I am.
What?
Wait a minute. Here.
George, there's somebody...
Oh, no. All right, Mrs. Wick.
George, look out. She's got a gun.
Drop that thing, lady. Drop. That's better.
Leave me alone. You get out of my way.
Going back out there to that studio with a gun, huh?
He can't do things like that to people. He can't treat them.
What? You mean he can't treat you like that?
I don't care about me. I just
look at her eye.
Mrs. Wick, listen to me. You're going out there because you think he killed Jukes, isn't that right? You don't know how he could have done it, but somehow you think he must be responsible.
You said yourself the other 2 had alibis.
And if you knew that you didn't do it, then you assume that he has to be behind it, like he's behind everything else in the world, sticking in pins.
Let go of me. I've got to know
Oh,
what...
come on, then. I'll take you there, without the gun. We'll wrap this up before anybody else gets hurt.
Francis!
Georgie's on the floor. What's the matter with him?
Perfectly all right, young lady.
Francis, you're white as a sheet.
Oh, don't go pawing at me again. This stupid man running off.
I'm not stupid anymore, Buster. But here, get up. Come on now. You're all right. All right, one thing at a time. Jukes killed himself.
What?
Oh, the police will be there. There'll be all kinds of evidence, fingerprints on the glass. You figured that out, too, didn't you, Wick? Isn't that the story you were going to write? We're laughing about?
Valentine, I shall write my friends in Scotland Yard about
No,
you.
no, wait. Why on earth would Jukes kill himself?
Mrs. Wick, do you drink green creme de menthe?
What? Oh, well, yes, but...
Jukes took over Santa Claus' beard in order to get away with his sack full of loot, right? He'd already slugged your husband here. Well, how do you think he felt when you walked in the door?
George, I don't get it at all.
Mrs. Wick, it was only a matter of minutes before he knew you'd recognize he wasn't the right guy, despite the pillows and beard. So maybe the ex-pharmacist got a little desperate. You never drank your drink, by the way, did you? I remember you holding it.
You mean it was poison? You mean he was
Janet,
trying...
will you let the man talk? His syntax is execrable, but his logic...
It's all a guess, but it's a good one. The connoisseur here likes Stromboli. Like women, it should be strong to the senses, but easy to see through.
Oh, quote.
But Jukes would know about that. Playing Wick, he'd make his own liqueur, Drambuie. But he left the drinks for a few minutes, you said. And the drinks were in by the Christmas tree.
George, what in the name of the world are you talking
By
about?
the Christmas tree, Brooksy. And when he picked one up, he picked up the wrong drink. The creme de menthe meant for you, Mrs. Wick.
Oh.
But we can check. We'll find out.
But how could he mistake a green creme de menthe?
I know, yeah. Drambuie is almost white. But there were only green lights in there on that Christmas tree. Don't you know what happens to anything green when it's matched by a green light? The color cancels out. It turns white.
Bravo, Mr. Valentine. A very well-rounded story. White Christmas in January.
Yeah. And much to my regret, there's probably nothing I can hang on to you, Mr. Wick. All right, come on, Mrs. Wick.
Oh, no, you don't, Janet.
He doesn't have to order you around, you know, not anymore.
What?
Janet.
Maybe he wouldn't have to pick on other people if you could control him, the people he despises so much.
Janet, come back here. Don't leave me.
You know, he'd already figured this crime out. So a few minutes ago, why did we find him so scared? Why?
Oh. Janet, will you do as I say?
The acid bath man who's had a lackey attend him night and day all his life. Always people.
Janet, don't listen.
Haven't you ever wondered about that, Mrs. Wick? And why his hatred of people? You've been his wife, but I'll bet you haven't even noticed. He never gave you a chance to. All you'd ever have to do to gain the upper hand is just walk away from him.
Janet, come back here. Don't leave me. Come back.
I must go back.
Look, he's a case. Can't be without people. Terrified of being alone.
Janet,
remember that. Okay, Mrs. Wick, go on back. You can have him.
Oh, George, I don't envy her the job.
Yeah. Well, he's rounded out his own story, hasn't he? Letting us see such a queer pair of clay feet. Well, he won't give Christmas parties anymore, but...
George, that color business. I mean, well, it proved to be true and everything, but you're so unobservant, generally.
How did I get it? You really want to know? Well, Brooksy, in there by the Christmas tree earlier, I happened to notice something, that's all. Something about you.
Me?
Yeah. Then later on it clicked. The color of your eyes. What that light did to the blue in them.
Oh, George, really? Wow. I never see you noticing.
Well, I did. I like to look at you.
Oh.
Do it quite often, as a matter of fact. Is that all right?
Oh, darling. You know something? I'm not even going to tell you that my eyes are really hazel.
Listen to the difference. In a few seconds, you'll hear Geiger counters measuring automobile engine wear. The engines are equipped with irradiated piston rings, which make it possible for the Geiger counter to detect wear as it occurs. You will hear authentic scientific proof that new RPM motor oil cuts in half the wear rate of critical engine parts, doubles the life of the average auto engine between major overhauls due to lubrication. First, let's listen to the Geiger counter slowly click off the low wear rate of new RPM. Now, the much faster wear rate of a premium type oil as designated by the American Petroleum Institute. Now, new RPM again. You have just heard Geiger counters clicking off the scientific proof that new RPM motor oil is years ahead.
Yes, years ahead. New RPM doubles engine life between major overhauls due to lubrication. Try it. Sold with a money-back guarantee of satisfaction at independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. Tonight's adventure of George Valentine is brought to you by Standard Oil Company of California on behalf of independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations throughout the West. Robert Bailey is starred as George with Virginia Gregg as Brooksy. Let George Do It is written by David Victor and Jackson Gillis and directed by Don Clark. Larry Dobkin was heard as Wick, Lee Patrick as Janet, Shirley Mitchell as Charity, John Daner as the salesman, and Ted DeCorsia as Keller. The music is composed and presented by Eddie Dunstetter, your announcer, John Heaston. Listen again next week, same time, same station, to Let George Do It. Let George Do It is heard overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. A very interesting outcome to this psychological case. With a clue that really required you to use your imagination about what colors the light and how green Christmas tree lights would affect coloring. I actually listened to this one before out of curiosity. And the ending, I remembered a little bit vaguely of how it ended, but I walked away with a different impression of how it ended than I did when I first heard this way back in 2011. Because I originally took it as the wife went back and was going to enable him, but in this case, she more went back and kind of served as a check on him to get his worst impulses under control. They certainly do manage to come up with some despicable characters. All right, well, now we go to listener comments and feedback. Michelle comments on Podcast Alley, which apparently some folks are getting through to comment once again. Recently discovered your site, and I'm addicted. I like your commentary about the shows. It's very insightful. Thank you, Michelle. Well, thank you so much for listening out there, Michelle. That will actually do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with Sherlock Holmes, and then join us back here next week for another episode of Let George Do It. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all your support. And today's episode of Sherlock Holmes is called The Illustrious Client.
From New York City, the makers of Clipper Craft Clothes for Men and 1,036 leading retail stores from coast to coast present the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. This week's story, The Adventure of the Illustrious Client. Well, here we are again in Dr. Watson's famous study. He has just given us a tall frosted glass that clinks pleasantly and is now rearranging his notes and papers.
There now, Mr. Harris, we're all set, as you say in America.
Good. Then let's get on with it, as you say in England, Doctor.
Yes. But tonight I think I'll tell you how Holmes disillusioned a charming young lady and consequently saved her from what is commonly called a fate worse than death. Oh, yes, but before we begin to get too involved in that rather complicated affair, Mr. Harris, you'd better say a few words on a subject that's very appropriate at this particular season of the year.
A very good idea, Dr. Watson. Here's a fact you ought to know. There's no reason in the world for you to pay high prices for a beautifully tailored, smartly styled suit of clothes. Not with Clippercraft available. Clippercraft clothes feature long-wearing fabrics, are superbly made, and better than fairly priced, despite rising costs of materials and manufacturing. There's a big reason Clippercraft clothes are priced so modestly. It's the famous Clippercraft plan, concentrating the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast, providing steady year-round operation, lowering manufacturing and distribution costs. It makes available the finest suits you've ever seen for only $40 to $47.50. Handsome tropicals at $33.75 to $40, and sport jackets at only $26.50. Naturally, more fine stores than ever are welcoming the Clippercraft plan. These are the days it really goes to work for you. Compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more. And now, back to the young lady who was about to be rescued by Mr. Sherlock Holmes, no less.
Right. It was September the 3rd, 1903. A few years after my marriage, if you remember. Well, I dropped around to Baker Street in the middle of the afternoon. There was Holmes lying on the sofa, pipe in hand, a piece of letter paper dangling from his long, lean fingers. But the thing that surprised me most was the appearance of the room itself. Hello, I say, Holmes, what's up? Have we reached the millennium?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm alluding to the unprecedented tidiness of the room.
That. It's Mrs. Hudson's doing.
Oh.
She's got wind of the fact that I'm expecting a call from Sir James Damery this afternoon, and she took a mean advantage of my being out of the house this morning to commit this atrocity.
Oh, not a bad idea, either.
I won't be able to find anything for weeks. And my hair, look at it.
Oh, don't tell me Mrs. Hudson made you brush it.
Women are tyrants, Watson. Tyrants.
Oh, rubbish. I say, what's all this about Sir James Damery? What does he want?
Beyond this charming note which says he'll be here at 4:30 and that the matter is extremely delicate and important, I know about as much about the matter as you do, which is absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm glad to hear you admit it. I say, look here, Holmes, isn't this chap Damery a pretty important person in the diplomatic service?
Quite.
Oh.
Hello? Isn't that a carriage I hear drawing up in front of our house?
Oh, by Jove. It's a handsome turnout, Holmes. 2 men on the box.
Yes, I don't imagine that carriage belongs to Sir James himself. He must be acting for someone else. By Jove, the crest on the door. Aha, so it's as serious as that.
I say, Holmes, you've got deuced good eyesight. I can't make out the crest at all.
That's just as well, my dear Watson. Just as well. Here comes Damery himself.
Oh, I say, he is a handsome fellow, eh?
Yes, a splendid fellow. Honest and understanding and clever. Deuced clever, my dear Watson.
Oh, I suppose you say that because he had the intelligence to come to you instead of going to Scotland Yard.
Oh, rubbish.
Oh, look at Mrs. Hudson opening the door to him. All starched up, her face as red as a beet.
Yes, she'll talk about this for weeks. Dear, dear women. She'll go into raptures over the colour of his eyes, the fit of his coat, Come in, come in.
It's Sir James Damery to see you, sir.
Well, ask him to come in.
Yes, sir. Just be so good as to step this way, your lordship.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget to close the door, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, no, sir.
You've created quite a little flutter in our household, Sir James, as you can see.
It's so good of you to see me, Mr. Holmes, and... Oh, this, I take it, is Dr. Watson. I hope to find you here. Delighted to make your acquaintance, my dear doctor.
The pleasure's mine, I'm sure.
Won't you sit down, sir?
Thank you. Dr. Watson's collaboration may be vital, Mr. Holmes, for we are dealing on this occasion with a violent and ruthless man. I may safely say there is no more dangerous man in Europe.
I have outwitted several opponents to whom that flattering term has been applied. Who is this paragon, Sir James?
Have you ever heard of Baron Gruner?
The Austrian murderer.
So, you have already sized him up as a murderer.
It's my business to follow the details of continental crime. I'm as sure that he killed his wife at the time of the so-called accident at Flugen Pass as if I'd seen him do it.
Yes.
I knew also that he'd come to England and was convinced that sooner or later he'd find some work to do.
Then you sympathize with the client in whose interest I'm acting.
Yes. And I guessed you were only an intermediary. Who's the principal?
Mr. Holmes, I must beg you not to press that question. It is important that his honored name should not be dragged into the matter.
I'm accustomed to have mystery at one end of my cases, Sir James, but not at both. I fear I must decline.
May I at least lay the facts of the case before you?
By all means.
You have no doubt heard of General de Merville?
Oh, de Merville, the Iron General of Khyber fame, the old bulldog. Why, I remember the great day of...
Watson, don't interrupt.
Oh, very well.
Well, the old bulldog has a daughter, Violet de Merville, young, rich, and beautiful. It is this daughter, this lovely, innocent girl whom we are endeavoring to save from that fiend Gruner.
He has some hold over her?
She's in love with him, Mr. Holmes. At least she thinks she has a mad infatuation. She's obsessed by the man and proposes to marry him next month. Well, there's very little her family can do, as she is of age and has a will of iron.
Oh, her father's daughter, eh?
Watson.
Oh, sorry.
Does she know about the Austrian episode?
The rascal has told her every unsavory public scandal of his past life.
Foolhardy, eh, Holmes?
But always in such a way as to make himself out to be an innocent martyr.
Cunning devil.
But surely, Sir James, you've let out the name of your client. It must be General de Merville.
I could deceive you, Mr. Holmes, by saying so.
My dear Damery, it takes more than that to deceive me.
Yes, I suppose so. Let us say, then, that my client is an old friend who has known the General intimately for years and has taken a paternal interest in the girl since she wore short frocks. It was his suggestion that you should be called in.
Very flattering. Your problem interests me, Sir James. I'm prepared to look into it.
Excellent. In case of developments, you can reach me at the Carlton Club.
And the Baron's address?
Vernon Lodge near Kingston. It's a large house. He has been fortunate in some shady speculations and is a rich man, worse luck.
Yes, that makes him all the more dangerous as an antagonist. Can you give me any further information about him, his personal habits, I mean?
He has expensive tastes. A horse fancier, plays polo, collects books, women. And is a recognized authority on Chinese pottery, has even written a book on the subject.
Chinese pottery, a complex mind like most great criminals. Well, Sir James, you will inform your client that I am undertaking the case of the Baron Gruner.
I am exceedingly grateful, Mr. Holmes.
Not at all.
Well, good luck, gentlemen, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, dear me, this is a delicate situation, eh?
Well, Watson, any news?
Well, I should think you'd better see the young lady herself.
De Merville's daughter? No. That's more or less of a last resort. No young woman in love is ever very reasonable. And Violet has her father's determination in all probability. No, first of all, I think I shall consult Shinwell Johnson.
Shinwell Johnson? Who's he?
Well, suppose we meet for lunch tomorrow at Simpson's. I'll ask him to drop around with any information he's been able to pick up. Don't disappoint me, Watson.
Oh, no.
I think I may be able to introduce you to a colorful personality.
Oh, I'll be there, never fear.
Another glass of claret, waiter.
Yes, sir.
Well, Watson, Johnson's on the prowl. He may pick up some garbage in the dark recesses of the underworld, but it's down there that we must look for Baron Gruner's secrets.
Yes, but who's this Shinwell Johnson fellow?
An ex-convict whom I've succeeded in reforming, served 2 terms at Parkhurst.
Oh.
Consequently, he has the entree to every nightclub, doss house, and gambling den in town. An ideal agent for gaining information, Watson.
Yes, but if Miss Violet's not affected by what she already knows, why should any discovery of Mr. Johnson's change her mind?
Who knows, Watson? Woman's heart and mind are insoluble puzzles to the male. Murder might be condoned or explained, and yet some smaller offense might rankle. As Baron Gruner remarked this morning, you can't...
So you've seen him?
Well, to be sure, didn't I tell you?
No.
Oh, dear me, how careless of me. I always like to meet my adversary eye to eye and find out for myself the stuff that he's made of.
But didn't he recognize you?
Naturally, I sent in my card.
Oh, you are a character, Holmes.
An excellent antagonist, this Baron Gruner. A real aristocrat of crime. Cool as ice. And as poisonous as a cobra.
I rather thought I should see you sooner or later, Mr. Holmes. I understand you have been engaged to prevent my marriage to the daughter of General de Merville.
Quite, Baron Gruner.
My dear fellow, you will only ruin your famous reputation. Let me advise you to draw off at once.
Dear me, that was the very advice I was about to give you. If you persist in this marriage, you'll raise a swarm of powerful enemies. Is the game worth it? Surely you'll be wiser if you let the lady alone. You can hardly wish certain facts about your past to be brought to her notice.
Oh, pardon my amusement, Mr. Holmes. But it's most amusing to see you trying to play a hand with no cards in it.
So? You think I hold no cards, my dear Baron? Let me assure you I have several aces up my sleeve.
Bluff, Mr. Holmes. Perhaps you don't realize that I hold the affection of this lady in spite of all the unhappy incidents of my past. I've also told her that certain wicked and designing persons, I hope you recognize yourself, would come to her and try to poison her mind against me. I also told her how to treat them. You've heard of post-hypnotic suggestion? If you call on Violet, you'll have an opportunity to see how it works. Dear little Violet. Such a delightful subject for hypnotism.
The hypnotic spell can be broken, my friend.
Only by a stronger personality. Oh, by the way, Mr. Holmes, did you know Lebrun, the French agent?
I did.
You know what happened to him?
Yes, he was beaten and crippled for life.
Quite true. Mr. Holmes, by a curious coincidence, he had been inquiring into my affairs only a week before. Don't do it, Mr. Holmes. It's not, lucky.
Nasty brute. I say, Holmes, you better watch yourself. He'll stop at nothing.
Quite. 2 attempts have already been made on my life, Watson. I always disregard the blusterer, but this is the sort of chap who says rather less than he means. Oh, but look, here comes Shinwell Johnson. Huh? The red-faced fellow with the beefy jowls and the tremendous gold watch chain.
But I say, who's his companion? The young woman, I mean, with a pale, intense look. She looks as if she'd lived a bit, Holmes.
Yes, a dark page from Baron Gruner's past, I imagine. Ah, good afternoon, Shinwell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes.
Waiter, bring an extra chair for the lady.
Yes.
That's better.
This here is Miss Kitty Winter.
Oh, how do you do?
What she don't know about the Baron, but she'll speak for herself. I found her within an hour after I heard from you. Quick work, eh, Mr. Holmes?
I'm easy to find. The gutter, London, gets me every time. Same address for Porky Shinwell, but by cripes, Gruner ought to be...
Yes. Then I gather we have your good wishes, Miss Winter.
Look at me. What I am, Albert Gruner made me. If I can help put him where he belongs, I'm yours to the death rattle.
You know how the matter stands?
He's after some other poor fool. Wants her to marry him this time, eh? Don't you know enough about him to keep any decent girl in her senses from...
She's not in her senses. She's in love. She knows pretty much all about it.
She knows about the murder?
Yes.
Good Lord, she must have a nerve.
She puts it all down to slander. We want proofs. Can you help us?
Proofs? I think I'm proof enough. Let her take a look at me and listen to what I can tell her.
Would you be willing to do it?
Wouldn't I, though?
Remember, he's told her most of his past.
I'll wager he didn't tell her all. I'll bet she don't know he's got a book, a brown leather book with a lock. He must have been drunk that night or he wouldn't have showed it to me.
What kind of a book?
That devil collects women, Mr. Holmes, like some men collect butterflies. And he's proud of his collection. He's got it all in that book. Snapshot photographs, names, details, everything. If you could only lay hands on that book. He's probably got her in there with the rest of us by this time. She'd like that, wouldn't she?
Where is this book?
It's more than a year since I was in his study. I knew where it was kept then. Do you know his house?
I've been in his study.
I'll hand it to you for being on the job. Maybe he's met his match this time.
Well, the outer study is where he keeps his Chinese crockery. A big glass cupboard between the windows. Then behind his desk is a door that leads to the inner study. It's in there that he keeps his papers and things.
Well, isn't he afraid of burglars?
Say what you like, he's no coward. He can look after himself. Besides, there's a burglar alarm at night.
I see. If we could get into that study, Miss Winter, do you think you could show us where that book's hidden?
Sure.
Oh, but look here, Holmes, you can't go breaking into a strange house. It's against the law.
Quite, and I wouldn't dream of doing it, except as a last resort. But come along, Miss Winter. We'll see how far our legal efforts get us before we turn to other tactics.
What do you mean?
Suppose we just drop in on Miss de Merville for a little chat.
What a pretty drawing room. It's been a long time since You won't believe it, Mr. Holmes, when I tell you I once had a nice home, too.
Obviously, my dear, I can tell by your hands you were a lady. The rough talk you assumed to cover it up didn't fool me for a minute.
Oh, sir, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I can go through with it.
Courage, Kitty. It'll be over in a minute. Quiet, someone's coming. Ah, Mr. Merville, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Holmes, I presume.
Quite.
Pray be seated. I've been expecting a visit from you. You have called, as I understand, to malign my fiancé, Baron Gruner. It's only fair to warn you, Mr. Holmes, that you're wasting your time. Nothing you can say will have the slightest effect on my mind.
My dear young woman, I wonder if you realize what it means to be married to a murderer. And worse. His reputation will bar you from decent society in any civilized country. How can a woman of your upbringing consent to...
Mr. Holmes, I'm aware that my fiancé has had a stormy life in which he has incurred bitter hatreds. You are only the last of a series to slander him. Don't think that I don't know your motive. You're a paid agent who would have been equally willing to act for the Baron if he'd consented to pay your price, but he refused.
Oh, really, Mr. Merville?
Moreover, Mr. Holmes, I am not clear why you should bring this person into my drawing room. I haven't the slightest notion who she is.
No? Well, I'll tell you who I am. I'm his last victim. He'll kill you, that's what he'll do. It may be a broken back or a broken heart, but he'll break you one way or the other.
I don't need your protection, thank you.
Oh, it's not for love of you I'm speaking. I don't give a tinker's curse if you live or die. It's because I hate him, do you hear? And you needn't look at me like that. God knows you may be lower than I am before you're through.
Let me say once for all that I'm aware of 3 passages in my fiancé's life when he became entangled with designing women.
3 passages? 3 passages, she says. Oh, you fool. You fool. Wait till you see that book.
Compare Clippercraft with suits, tropicals, and sport jackets, selling for many dollars more. It's a wonderful way to prove to yourself how much you save with Clippercraft. The fine local independent stores who sell Clippercraft clothes from coast to coast make a business of giving you more for your money. Your favorite store, the store you can trust, is back of the remarkable Clippercraft plan. The plan that concentrates the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast, and that's why you can buy luxurious long-wearing fabrics in Clippercraft suits for only $40 to $47.50, fine tropicals at $33.75 to $40, and sport jackets for only $26.50. Ask any of the millions of men who wear Clippercraft clothes. For selling expensive clothes at inexpensive low prices at the nation's finest stores is the great big idea behind the Clippercraft plan. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud to add their names to Clippercraft in your suits, top coats, sport jackets, and tropicals. In Manhattan, John Wanamaker Men's Stores, Broadway at 8th and 67 Liberty Street. Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge Newark. And in Jamaica, the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue.
Now to return to our adventure. In front of Sherlock Holmes' lodgings at 221B Baker Street, we find an excited crowd of people.
I say, have you heard the news, she?
This is where he lives, the poor man. Oh, the poor man.
Look at the papers. A murderous attack on Sherlock Holmes.
They've murdered him? Do you hear that? They've murdered him.
It's an outrage. A man's not safe in the streets anymore.
But how did it happen?
2 ruffians outside the Cafe Regal. They beat him with sticks. He was picked up for dead.
Oh, he's dead. Isn't that dreadful? Sherlock Holmes is dead.
Let me through, I say. I'm a doctor.
Oh, he's a doctor.
Out of
Let
the
him
way,
through.
please,
He's
will
a
you?
doctor.
Oh, confounded, the bell won't ring. What is...
Oh, here you are at last, Dr. Watson. Praise be. Come in, come in.
Yes, I've been out all afternoon, Mrs. Hudson. I've just got word. Is he badly hurt?
Oh, sir, they brought him in here all bleeding. They had to have that surgeon fella, Oakshott.
Oh, Sir Leslie Oakshott. Oh, then it is serious.
Yes, sir. He's been taking stitches in him and giving him morphine.
Do you think I can go up for a moment?
Well, that Sir What's-his-name said as Mr. Holmes was to have absolute quiet.
I had to stuff the doorbell on account of the newspaper fellows.
Oh, yes, quite right.
But Mr. Holmes kept saying he had to see you as soon as you came. So that surgeon fellow said, all right, but only for 10 minutes, mind.
Oh, good. I'll go right up.
Yes, sir. And let me know if he's wanting anything.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. It's all the Baron's doing, of course. Wait till I lay my hands on
Walk on tiptoe, Watson. It's not as bad as it seems.
Oh, thank God for that. Of course it's that rascal who set them on. I'll go and thrash the hide off him if you say so.
Good old Watson. No, it's not necessary. But there is something you can do for me.
Anything at all.
We haven't much time. I've just discovered that the Baron is planning to elope to South America with Miss de Merville day after tomorrow. Must be losing his nerve.
Well, what can we do in that short time?
You are to spend the next 24 hours in an intensive study of Chinese pottery.
Me? Chinese pottery? Holmes, you're delirious.
Not at all. Hand me that little box from the mantelpiece.
Which way? This one?
Yes, that's right. Oh, dear, open it for me, will you, Watson? These clumsy bandages. I don't want to run any risk of breaking it.
Oh, I say. It's a beautiful little deep blue saucer wrapped in silk.
That is the real eggshell pottery of the Ming dynasty. A complete set of it would be worth a king's ransom. The Baron would sell his soul for a set like that.
Well, what am I to do with it?
Here is your card.
Oh, yes, but this says Dr. Hill Barton, 369 Half Moon Street.
That is your name for tomorrow evening. You will call on Baron Gruner at 8:30. A note's already been set making the appointment and saying that you're bringing a specimen of an absolutely unique set of Ming china. You may as well be a medical man since you can play that part without duplicity. Don't want to put too much of a strain on your acting ability.
No, look here, Holmes.
Watson, you're not going to go back on me at a time like this.
Well, no, of course not. But I say, what if he won't see me?
He'll see you right enough. He has the collector's mania in its most acute form. The important thing is to cram up on Chinese pottery so you can carry on an intelligent conversation.
Well, I'll do my best.
Good. 8:30 tomorrow.
Righto.
Now, perhaps you'd better go. I'm afraid I feel a trifle weak.
I'll find out if the Baron will see you, sir.
I believe he's expecting me.
Very good, sir.
Dear me, I wish my knees had stopped wobbling about. Hung Wu and Young Lo, the writings of Tang Ying, the primitive periods of Sung and Yuan. Oh, dear me, this is dreadful.
This way, the Baron is in his study. The Chinese room, we call it. Dr. Barton, sir.
Oh, pray sit down, Doctor. Pray sit down.
Oh, thank you.
I was just looking over my treasures. Have you ever seen a richer glaze than this little Tang specimen, eh?
Oh, delightful.
Yes. Oh, have you the Ming saucer with you?
Oh, yes, indeed. I thought you might want to see it. Here it is. Let me unwrap it for you. There we are.
Oh, fine. Very fine indeed. And you say you have a set of 6 to correspond?
Oh, yes.
I only know of one in England to match this, and it is certainly not on the market. Would it be indiscreet, Dr. Barton, to ask how you obtained this?
Well, does it really matter? You can see the piece is genuine.
Oh, undoubtedly. But suppose I should discover later that you had no right to sell.
Oh, I'd guarantee you against any claim of that sort.
And what is your guarantee worth?
My bankers would answer that.
Yet on the whole, this business is very mysterious.
Well, you can do business or not as you like. I've given you the first offer because I understood you were a connoisseur.
Who told you so?
Well, you wrote a book on the subject, I believe.
Have you read the book?
No.
You are a collector with a valuable piece in your collection, and yet you have never troubled to consult the one book which would give you the real meaning and value of what you hold. Now, how do you explain that?
I'm a very busy man, a doctor in practice.
That's no answer. You said in your note you were a connoisseur.
So I am.
Well, what do you know of the Emperor Shomu? How do you associate him with the Shoso Inn near Nara?
Well, as a matter of
fact... Does that puzzle you? What about the northern Wei dynasty?
Oh, this is intolerable. I came here to do you a favor, not to be examined as if I were a schoolboy.
You're here as a spy. Sherlock Holmes sent you. Now, what's the game? You've made your way in here without leave. But you're not going to find it so easy to get out again. I thought the beating he got yesterday would be enough to scare him off. But if he wants a corpse to prove to him... Oh, what's that? Someone's in the inner study. Someone... Sherlock Holmes himself. Now, what in blazes are you doing here?
Just glancing through your diary. Rather lurid reading, my dear fellow. I wonder what Miss Violet will think of it.
Put that book down. Put it down, I say, you fool. My men bungled. I told them to kill you. Well, I'm going to complete the job myself.
Look out, Holmes, he's got a knife.
Oh, no, you don't. I've got a little score of my own to settle.
Oh, Kitty, what are you doing here?
Surprised to see me, eh? Thought I'd killed myself by this time. Well, I'm going to fix you.
Oh, now, really, Kitty. You're most amusing.
Go ahead and laugh. It'll be the last time. Very well, then. Take
Stop her! Stop her, Watson!
Oh, can I do
Watson, why didn't you stop her?
She's blinded me. Vitriol is burning my eyes out. Water, for God's sake, water!
That'll spoil your looks.
The pain, I can't stand the pain. It's driving me crazy.
Now laugh. Why don't you laugh?
What a story, Doctor. And did Miss de Merville break off the engagement when she saw the Baron's love diary?
Oh, dear me, yes. Sir James came and collected it and the little saucer of Ming china the afternoon after her encounter with Gruner. The diary was in the Baron's own handwriting. There was no way of getting around that. The wages of sin, my dear Mr. Harris, the wages of sin. Be sure your faults will find you out.
Say, Doctor, apropos of nothing at all, was Mr. Holmes arrested for housebreaking?
Now, what an idea. Well, there was some rumor about a prosecution, I believe, but when the purpose is good and a client sufficiently illustrious, even the rigid British law becomes human and elastic. Holmes is yet to stand in the dock.
And the illustrious client, Doctor, did you ever find out who he was?
Well, I could make a good guess. On Sir James' second visit, I escorted him down to his carriage, and quite by accident, mind, I caught a glimpse of that coat of arms before Sir James threw his overcoat half out of the window to cover it.
And who was it, Doctor?
Oh, I couldn't dream of telling. Beyond the fact that he was a loyal friend and a chivalrous gentleman, and his coat of arms had 3 ostrich plumes on the top.
And, of course, you haven't the remotest idea.
Oh, certainly not.
And now, Doctor, how about giving our friends and listeners a hint about next week's story?
Next week? Now, let me see. Oh, yes, next week I think I'll tell you about some yellow roses that refused to die, and how they nearly caused the death of a lovely young second wife, who heard the voice of her husband's first wife calling to her from a watery grave.
The makers of Clipper Craft Clothes and 1036 leading stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes is played by John Stanley, Dr. Watson by Alfred Shirley, and the dramatizations are by Edith Meiser. Sherlock Holmes is produced and directed by Basil Lochran, with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Case of the Ever-Blooming Roses. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, even I can guess that the illustrious client was the king. Well, this Baron was definitely a rough character. I'm kind of, the end that he faced, yeah, I have some mixed feelings about that, but overall it was an interesting episode, even if I'm a bit iffy on the way they ended it. All right, well, we don't have any additional listener comments for today. I do want to encourage you. We do have our old-time Radio Superman show available at laserandsword.com. And we also have our old-time Dragnet show at radiodragnet.com. Well, that will do it for today. We will be back on Friday with yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and then come back and listen to us again next Thursday for another episode of Sherlock Holmes. Well, I do want to encourage you to pick up your copy of All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo. We take a look at 7 great detectives from literature and from radio, as well as television, including Columbo, Monk, Sherlock Holmes, Nero Wolfe, Father Brown, and a couple others as well. It is available as an ebook on for your Kindle. You can just purchase it on Amazon, as well as if you use a Kindle reading app. You can buy it for all other readers at smashwords.com. All right, well, now it's time for today's episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, The Jones Matter.
Sent for your listening enjoyment, John Lund as Johnny Dollar.
George Dean, Johnny, Congress Mutual.
Oh, hi, George.
Johnny, how does Las Vegas sound to you?
Expensive. Can you afford it?
Got to. A client of ours had a 30-grand diamond necklace stolen out there yesterday. Little Lesueur.
The dancer?
One and only. Still packing them in after all these years. And still the same 2 weaknesses, Johnny. Gambling and collecting young men.
Well, they say every girl needs a hobby, George. Not 2 hobbies, though. That could run into money. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you John Lund and another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. That lively, full-bodied Wrigley's Spearmint flavor is really refreshing. It cools your mouth and freshens your taste. The pleasant chewing helps keep your throat moist, helps relieve that dry, thirsty feeling. And delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum is so handy. Just slip a package into your purse or pocket and you've got refreshment right at your fingertips. Chew Wrigley's Spearmint while you're working. Enjoy this refreshing treat along with your favorite summer sports. Wrigley's Spearmint Gum is always enjoyable, and you can chew it without even taking time out. Get a few packages of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Concourse Mutual Assurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Jones matter. Expense account item 1, $318.60, transportation, round-trip airfare and incidentals to Las Vegas and the Flamingo Hotel, where the ordinary citizen lives like an Oriental potentate wishes he could live. After checking in, I took a short walk down the street to Lily Lesueur's hotel.
Yes?
Miss Lesueur, I'm Johnny Dollar, special investigator for your insurance company.
Oh, well, that's very nice, I'm sure, but... Oh, of course, the necklace. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. Mind if I come in?
Oh, please do, Mr. Dollar. This is Eddie Lawson, Mr. Dollar, my very dear friend. Just a doll, really.
Hello. How are you?
I think it's awfully droll and nice of the insurance company to take such an interest in my poor little affairs.
I imagine they regard $30,000 as more of a rich, big affair.
Oh, dear. And then I suppose you'll go around prying into all my most intimate secrets and asking such embarrassing questions that I'll just... Oh, I think having jewelry stolen is always such a bore.
Yes, the insurance company feels the same way, Miss Lesueur. Now, if you just...
good heavens, look at the time. I've got to fly.
Lily, you remember what I told you?
Now, Eddie, don't start being a child. Don't you think these Western outfits are just adorable, Mr. Dollar?
Well, they do a lot to point up a girl's personality, all right?
Well, maybe this investigation won't be such a chore after all. Oh, dear, I'm late. Buck and Devastator are going to be just furious. Oh, well, tell him all about it, Eddie. Catch my show tonight, Johnny. 10 o'clock at the $1 Million Club. Join me for a snack afterwards. Here by the pool. That's where it all happened. Toodaloo all.
Buck and Devastator.
Buck Bartlett. He's the riding instructor at the Lazy J stables. Devastator is the horse.
It's a better name for Lily.
I'm going to marry Lily, Mr. Dollar.
Oh? Congratulations. Now, what about this necklace? What happened?
It disappeared. That's all I know about it.
Well, how? When? Where?
Look, why don't you do like Lily said? Come around tonight. The same gang will be there, and you can check the setup yourself, see what happens. You can keep an eye on this Buck Bartlett if you want a tip from me.
And the other eye?
Anywhere. As long as it's not on Lily.
Expense account item 2, $2.50. Lunch at the hotel. And $12 for a hired car to the Lazy J stables. Horses for hire. English or Western style saddles. Instructor available. A Western style instructor, as was soon painfully obvious.
Mighty pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Dollar. Lily just took off from here a couple of minutes ago.
I know.
You, Eastern friend of hers?
Well, I'm not exactly a friend. I'm a special investigator. Checking into those diamonds she lost the other evening.
Oh, I see.
I understand you were there. Might know something about it.
No, sir. Beats me. There we was, sitting on that fancy terrace kind of thing they got there, hoisting a little poison and chawing on some beefsteaks, you know. And the next thing you know, Miss Lily lets out a yap and says, "My rocks. Somebody up and took my rocks." Well, I didn't even know she had any jewelry out there with her.
Did anybody know she had?
Well, not unless it was Miss Jo.
Miss Jo?
With the gal I brung, Miss Joan Drake. I was thinking she might have known because she ambled down to Miss Lily's room with us so they could change their glad rags and put on their bathing suits, you know. She'd been pestering me for a week to meet Miss LeSueur, but she sure wouldn't take nothing that didn't belong to her.
Buck, I wonder if there was a diamond necklace on the terrace.
Well, you ain't able to say Miss Lily lied about it, are you? Well, that little woman is true blue, mister. Matter of fact, Mr. Dollar, I wouldn't want this to get around, but I'm sort of aiming to... Well...
Let me guess, Buck. You're aiming to marry her.
Yeah. I reckon it just sticks out all over her. Don't it, Mr. Dollar?
Well, seems they was having a late supper, Mr. Dollar, out there in the open by the pool. It was after Miss LeSueur's last show, so the four of them had the place pretty much to themselves.
And who were the four, Marshal?
Well, there was Miss LeSueur, of course, and this young fellow she brought with her from the East.
Eddie Lawson?
Yeah. Don't know much about him, except she's dang near old enough to be his mother.
You'll have to admit she doesn't look it, though.
She sure don't. Well, the other young fellow's the one you talked to, Buck Bartlett, he calls himself.
Oh, yeah, the Texan.
Yeah, he's about as Texan as you are, Mr. Dollar. Came here from Los Angeles. He just puts on that talk because the Easterners like it, especially the Eastern women.
That Texas drawl comes in handy, huh?
Yeah. Then the other one's a girl named Joan Drake.
Yeah, she was there with Buck.
Yeah, she's kind of a funny one. Young, pretty, smart as a whip. Came out from the East a while back. She's floor manager of the casino at the $1 Billion Club. Talk to her. See what you think. I can't figure her out.
All right. I'll see if I can.
Yeah. Come talk to me again after you look around a little.
Fine, I will. Huh. You know, I've seen these slot machines all over town. The last place I'd look for one is in the marshal's office.
Well, that's kind of a special.
Guess I might as well take the jackpot with me. Lemon.
Yes, that's all it ever is.
Huh?
It's rigged. I send the money it takes in over to the county orphanage. Charge it up to experience, Mr. Dollar.
Expense account item 3, $1 for experience and information from the marshal's office. And $17 miscellaneous expenses at the $1 Billion Club, where miscellaneous covers a lot of different items. One item is the roulette wheel.
$22 red, even.
You're not having very good luck.
Oh, I'm only paying for conversation anyway. Of course, I haven't had much yet.
What would you like, the story of my life?
We could start with that.
All right. Lay out $1. I was born of wealthy parents, raised entirely by nurses, educated in exclusive private schools, and was graduated from this quaint college, which I shall leave nameless. You like it so far?
Well, it isn't original, but well told. Go on.
Lay out another $1. You just lost that one. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, the divorce. Quite sensational, really. Father's clients withdrew their accounts and support. He was bankrupt within 3 months and dead by suicide within 6. You see, the other woman jilted him, and I, a tenderly nurtured sapling, was cast out into the world to sink or swim.
Well, never fear. Heaven will protect the working girls.
Oh, that was awfully funny.
Yeah, it was a scream.
14 even.
And, what did you do with the necklace?
What? What is this? Who are you?
Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator. And you're Joan Drake, who wanted badly to meet Miss LeSueur, who changed clothes in her room with her, who was the only one who knew she had the diamonds out at the pool, who works here for about, $50 a day and could probably use $30,000.
22 even.
And I asked you what you did with the necklace. I think that ought to cover the what is this?
Mr. Dollar, if you'd like to play roulette, by all means, stay around. But I'm afraid I don't have any more conversation. Not at these prices.
I thought I was overcharged for what I got.
And this will kill you. The whole story was true.
Repeater.
And with all that background, running a casino is the best you could do?
The best for me. With glitter and glamour and sparkle. And that's what I was brought up to expect.
The diamonds sparkle a lot, too, Joan. I missed Lily's first show at the $1 Billion Club, but I met her by the pool at her hotel right afterwards. It was a warm night. The stars blazed against the desert sky, and Lily and her guests scintillated back from the terrace below. Except me. I didn't scintillate. So far, I wasn't any closer to that necklace than I'd been when I got off the plane. I had the feeling I'd learned a few things and at the same time hadn't learned anything. And Lily didn't help much.
Did you see him? Did you see Eddie dive? Isn't he just utterly gorgeous, Johnny?
Yeah, the original Catalina ad. Just look for the flying fish.
Oh, he's just beautiful. He was a lifeguard in Miami, you know. Much tanner than he is now.
I see.
Look at Buck watching. It makes me so terrifically jealous, and Eddie knows it, too. Aren't they both just screamingly cute?
Screaming. How about that necklace, Lily?
Oh, it's too nice tonight. Let's worry about it tomorrow.
Let's worry about it tonight.
Oh, John.
Might as well go along with him, Lily. He's got a one-track mind.
Joan, darling, I didn't see you there in the shadow.
Just looking up glamour, honey.
Where were you sitting that night, Lily?
Why, by the oddest coincidence possible, right in his very chair. You see, ordinarily I kept the necklace in the hotel safe, but I wore it in my show that night, and it was late when we got here, and then we changed into swimming suits, and I didn't want to leave it in my suite, so I just brought it out here, wrapped in a handkerchief. And I kept it right here on the seat beside me all the time.
So all of a sudden it wasn't there, is that it?
Why, yes, that's exactly the way it happened. Now it's all settled. Let's talk about something else.
Lily, you know as well as I do it's not settled. You can't tell the insurance company the thing just disappeared, and that's all there is to it. They want to know how it disappeared, when and where.
Well, you must be so hideously persistent. It happened while I was playing the slot machine. That one, right over there. I left the necklace lying here in the chair.
And where were the others while you were over there waltzing with the slot machine?
Oh, around, I suppose. I don't know. When I hit the jackpot, I simply went right out of my mind.
How about you, Joan? Where were you?
Like she says, around. Oh, plenty of opportunity, if that's what you mean.
Oh, how utterly fantastic. She's a dear girl, Johnny. And I insist that you stop suspecting her. Or anybody else, either.
Were all of you searched?
Well, I wasn't, of course, but the others were.
It wasn't really much of a problem, Johnny. We were wearing swimsuits, you know.
Joan, I doubt if you went out of your mind over the jackpot. Did you notice where the boys were at the time?
Well, as far as I can remember.
I reckon a man ought to have the privilege to answer for himself, Mr. Dollar.
Why, sure. pull up an empty saddle and join the party. You too, Eddie. All right, Buck. Where were you?
I was over there with Miss Lily. I was standing right behind her when she up and hit that jackpot.
I was in the pool. I came out when I heard everybody yelling about some diamonds being missing.
You checked them out on that, Joan?
Sure. That's how I remember. Well, I'm certainly glad it's all settled. Oh, Johnny, you'll simply have to excuse me now. I've got to get ready for my show.
I'd be mighty proud to escort you to your room, Miss Lily.
Now, wait a minute, stable sweep.
Now, here.
Boys, you can both escort me. Come along now. I'll be right back, Johnny. Don't go away now. Curvy and soft as a kitten on the surface, but inside all angles and hard as a rock.
She belongs to a different age, Joan. The last of the champagne slipper girls.
Johnny, how much are those diamonds worth to you?
To me?
To the insurance company. Sometimes they make deals, don't they?
Sometimes.
No questions asked?
Sometimes.
How much?
Depends. I'd have to find out.
Everything about life, Johnny.
Not if I can help it.
It's real crazy the way it works out. I didn't finish that story of my life, Johnny. My real name is Jones. My father was Jonathan Vanderley Jones.
Jonathan Vanderley Jones? But if that's true, then...
Sure. It's real crazy. The correspondent my mother named in that divorce case was Lily Lestour.
Friends, you know Wrigley's Spearmint Gum is a delicious treat that millions enjoy all year round. It's good to chew almost any time and any place. In warm weather, you'll enjoy especially the refreshment that Wrigley's Spearmint Gum gives you. When your mouth feels hot and dry, or when you're feeling warm and tired, chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum gives you a pleasant little lift. It cools your mouth, moistens your throat, and refreshes your taste. Besides, chewing on a good, smooth piece of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum seems to add enjoyment to whatever else you're doing. So always keep some Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. Enjoy it at home, at work, wherever you are. Remember, that's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account item 4, $5.90. Supper snack with Joan on the hotel terrace. I sat there trying to put things together. Either Joan had suddenly spotted something that had tipped her off to the thief, or if she'd taken the diamonds herself, something had caused her to decide on a deal. But which? And what was it? I tried to remember what had happened just before, what had been said, and got nowhere.
You know, Johnny, it's funny. I've always been the innocent bystander. Up until now.
Maybe that's what you ought to go on being. Unless you stole it yourself.
Would the daughter of Jonathan Vanderley Jones turn out to be a thief?
She might, for money and other valuable considerations.
Like, for instance?
Like a chance to hit back at the woman who ruined her father.
Oh, you're heading up a dead-end street.
Maybe you are, too. Well, I guess we're expected at the $1 Million Club.
Not I. Little Jones got work to do.
So is little Johnny. Maybe we'll meet in the same playpen.
Somehow I don't think so. Bye-bye now. Johnny, what would happen if I just waived any claim of insurance on the necklace? Drop the whole thing right now.
Which one did it?
I'm sure I don't...
Or which one do you think did it?
Maybe I've decided it doesn't matter which one.
Suppose it was Joan. Would you still want to drop it?
Oh, but that's ridiculous. She would...
Or there's still another possibility. Maybe you started something you want to back out of now.
Johnny, why must you be so hideously difficult? The insurance company sent you out here to save $30,000 for it. And I'm just utterly certain they won't care how nor why as long as they save it.
No, maybe they won't. But what about me, Lily? It leaves me curious.
No, I'm quite sure you know a good deal more about this than you're letting on. Well, I've got to run again. It's time for my show. Bye, sweetie.
Expense account item 5, $10 for an hour and a half of more miscellaneous at the $1 Billion Club. Lily was in too much demand for any chance of a quiet talk. My other 3 chums weren't around. I was trying to decide whether to go back to the hotel when I was paged over the public address system. I picked up the phone at the end of the bar. Johnny Dollar.
Marshal Kimberly, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Marshal?
Well, it looks like one of those necklace people got herself in a mess of trouble a while ago.
How? What do you mean?
I'm calling from the parking lot. She's that Joan Drake girl. Found out here in the back seat of a car. She's dead.
I guess you can cover her up now, Marshal. Poor kid never knew what hit her.
She the one you thought might make a deal, Mr. Dollar?
Yeah.
No, somebody made sure she didn't. Hit her 3 or 4 times with something heavy. I'd been a wrench, judging by the mark.
A wrench, huh? Did you find it?
Nope. Did you notice her hands?
Yeah. Apparently she'd had them around something greasy, rusty. I wonder if... Wait a second. Radiator's still warm. She may not have been killed here at the club. She could have been brought here and left.
It's possible.
Who's this car belong to?
Buck Bartlett. We got the boys out looking for him now.
Possible, all right. It all ties up.
Do you want to let me in on it, Mr. Dollar?
Let me check first. I'm doing a lot of guessing. Joan brought up this deal while we were all at Lily's hotel this evening. I think she just figured out how the necklace was stolen. I think she was killed trying to get it. And I think I've figured it out, too. But let me check first, Marshal. I'll talk to you later. Ten minutes later, I was alone on the deserted terrace beside the swimming pool at Lily's hotel. I knelt on the edge and looked down into the water. Crystal clear and lighted by an underwater bulb sunk in the concrete wall. The pumping system was running as usual, drawing the water from a drain pipe in the deep end, circulating it through the filter tanks in the pump room, and returning it to the shallow end. I took my handkerchief, weighted with my room key, picked the spot carefully, and dropped it into the water. I watched it sink down toward the drain. Down, down. Then suddenly it was caught by the current and sucked into the drain. So far, so good. The next step was the pump room. I looked around for the switch on the pump motor, found it, and shut it off. There was a crescent wrench laying on the window ledge. It was shiny and clean. No use worrying about fingerprints. I picked it up and started to work on the rusty cover bolts on the strainer tank. Probably the same way Joan had started. Not if you're clever, she said. Well, she was clever, but not clever enough. Inside the strainer tank, laying in the wire basket, was my handkerchief and room key. And beside it was Lily's diamond necklace.
I was halfway across the terrace, and the lights around the pool went out. Somebody had pulled the main switch. I stopped and listened, waiting. But when it came, I was caught off guard. Somebody hit me and knocked me into the water. When I came up, I heard someone swimming. Whoever it was had come into the pool after me. I made the side, grabbed hold of the ledge with my left hand, drew back the wrench in my right. As the splashing came close, I lifted it and swung.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Marshal! Over here with that flashlight.
What happened to the light?
Switch was pulled. Here, help me get him out of the water.
Yeah. Let me have it. There we are.
His luck ran out, Marshal. This time, I had the wrench.
That swimmer fella, huh? Eddie Lawson.
Yeah. I found the necklace in the strainer of the filter system, where it's been all the time. He was lying when he said he was in the pool when Lily hit the jackpot. He went in right afterward. During the excitement, took the diamonds with him. Joan knew he was lying, and she figured out what he'd done. She was a smart kid. Too smart. Sorry to wake you, Lily, but...
Good heavens, wait, let me put on some makeup. I must look a positive fright.
I got your diamonds back, Lily.
Oh, you did?
Here.
Thank you. Which
one of your boyfriends? Why don't you give up, Lily? Time moves along. The years add up.
I'm not harming anyone.
Aren't you? Joan is dead. Eddie killed her over these diamonds of yours.
Yes. She's dead?
It's all right, though, as long as you're not harming anyone.
But how could I know? I didn't mean any harm to that poor girl. Eddie could have had the diamonds if I'd known. They didn't matter, Johnny. Just a gift a long time ago. I don't even remember who it was.
JVJ? Those are the initials on the clasp.
That's who it was. Jones. Some fool named Jonathan Vanderley Jones. They didn't mean a thing to me.
Expense account item 6. $51.40. Hotel charges and additional miscellaneous. Expense account total, $418.40. Remarks? Suggest you reconsider this account. Clients should be regarded as a bad risk. It'll happen again. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Remember, friends, wherever you are, whatever you do, enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. That lively, full-bodied Wrigley Spearmint flavor is really refreshing. It cools your mouth, moistens your throat, helps keep you feeling fresh and comfortable. The smooth, pleasant chewing helps keep you feeling relaxed, too. So you naturally feel better, work better, get more fun out of doing things. Remember, too, Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum is a refreshing treat you can enjoy almost any time and any place. Just slip a stick into your mouth whenever you want it. Do as millions do. Keep Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy and enjoy it often every day. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Les Crutchfield with music by Eddie Dunstetter.
Welcome back. A listener comment kind of leads into today's thoughts on the show. I've enjoyed all the different actors that played Johnny Dollar. They all bring something different to the actor, plus love your commentaries. From Rosh on Podcast Alley. Well, thanks so much, Rosh, and I think we saw an illustration of that here. I think that, there are certain episodes of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, where I think that Edmund O'Brien really excelled versus John Lund. And I think those with a lot of action and excitement, things like the Yankee Pride Manor, that was an absolute classic. But then there are episodes where dealing with emotional sort of things, where John Lund, I think, excels as Dollar, and we saw it in this episode. The way he handled the script, and he handled this very ironic, sad situation. Lund really made it work. It's this sort of morality story. In a way, I don't know if Edmund O'Brien could have done it, at least not the way that he portrayed Johnny Dollar. So this was, I think, a very solid performance in that regards by Lund. And, of course, this occurred in 1953, when many people from that era of the 1920s were clearly aging, and they would continue to appear in some future Johnny Dollar episodes, particularly some of the Bob Bailey ones. All right, well, speaking of John Lund, we have an app extra also for our premium site, and it is John Lund on a program called the Seal Test Variety Theater, which was hosted by Dorothy Lamour. And he actually made a guest appearance on that, and we are including that as an app extra or for the premium site today. All right, well, that will actually do it for this week. Send your comments to box13 at greatdetectives.net. Well, to be honest, I did not have strong preferences about what I was going to do for our 650th episode special. So I went ahead and I asked our friends on Facebook. I did a quick Facebook poll, and I asked people, gave them several options as to what they'd like to hear. Would you like to hear more Murder Clinic, more suspense? Some of the programs we've done previously. And I listed a couple of other well-known series that I thought people might be interested in hearing, or a one-off series. And the result was that people wanted to hear a radio program we hadn't played before. So I went ahead and I have come up with such a program. Well, to say this program is obscure would be an understatement. To be quite frank, I know nothing about the program itself. In terms of what network was it on, or did it even come to air? There are a couple of exemplars of Mystery Ward Theater out there, but whether 2 pilots were recorded for a series and it never went, we don't know. The premise of Mystery Ward Theater was that the Mystery Writers of America would provide material, a script, a story every week from one of America's top mystery writers. And it would be adapted over the program. And that way, it was not a whole lot different than the Mollet Mystery Theater or a Murder Clinic. This week's episode was dated June the 13th, 1949. And it features the writing of a familiar friend, Anthony Boucher, who, of course, wrote a lot of the, with Dennis Green, wrote a lot of the Sherlock Holmes episodes we listened to in the latter Rathbone Bruce and, of course, the Conway Bruce era. Though this character is somewhat removed from Sherlock Holmes. I mentioned the character before when we were doing Pat Novak for Hire. And I saw some inspiration that Richard Breen might have drawn for his character of Jocko Madigan. This is a pretty interesting mystery. I think you will enjoy it. So here now is the Mystery Award Theater episode, The Screwball Division.
Mystery Award Theater. Presenting Screwball Division, this week's selection for the Mystery Award Theater.
Car 11A, go to Parish House, Church of the Holy Name. 211, code 3. Step on it.
What miracle are you asking, Lieutenant? To hold my tears with Father O'Halloran lying dead at my feet.
Yeah, I know. But there's something mighty strange here. Some questions I want answered.
I'll never forgive myself, leaving him alone here in his study with a world full of hoodlums, kingdom people and the like, the forces of evil.
Kingdom people?
Them infidels that would wipe all the Lord's churches from the earth. Only yesterday, the Father was telling me
And now, Dr. D.E. McHenry, Associate Professor of Political Science and Dean of the Division of Social Sciences, University of California at Los Angeles, mentor of Mystery Award Theater. Dr. McHenry.
Ladies and gentlemen, your good sponsor has asked me to select for you each week the very best mystery story my associates and I find in our researches in that popular and instructive literary field. For tonight, I have chosen the particularly fine story by Mr. Anthony Boucher, of which you have just heard the beginning. Mystery Writers of America, National Association of the most famous authors in this field, have made it possible for us to dramatize these selections for you each week. Listen and see if you perceive the peculiar lesson in logic tonight's story contains, from a source which makes me suspect Mr. Boucher to be a student of classical Greek literature. When the show is over, I'll tell you why.
This is a very queer deal, and I need facts. That's the best way you can help, Mrs. Gallagher. Okay?
Well,
Fine. Now, how long were you out shopping?
that I can't tell you, Lieutenant. Not to the minute. That nice man at the supermarket, the blonde one, he was showing me snapshots of his youngest.
Yeah, I know, but roughly how long?
Say, 10 minutes, 15 maybe.
And what time was this?
Well, it was before dinner, because it was all in the oven and a half hour to go yet.
And dinner was what time?
6 o'clock sharp. The father was always
Yeah,
wonderful.
that'd make it about 5:30 you left.
Yes, officer.
And you got back sometime around 5:45, Miss Gallagher?
Yes, officer.
And found Father Halloran like this with a bullet in him.
Yes, officer.
Yeah. Time of death? 5:30 to 5:45. Got to be, pending surgeon's report.
Lieutenant McDonald, you're not going to go touching him?
You sound as though you were reading the Rookie Detective's Handbook, Miss Gallagher, about disturbing evidence. But there's just the barest chance that...
What is it, Lieutenant?
Father O'Halloran's wristwatch. It smashed when he fell. It reads 7:06.
Car 28B, go to Peerless Hotel for Men, 482 Pacific Street, Skid Row. It's a 211, code 3.
It's all right now. Come clean, friend. You can't get away with it.
Honest to heaven, Lieutenant Barker, I don't know nothing.
All right now. You just keep right on saying that, and I'll keep right on slugging you, okay?
I was next door in my room when I heard the shot. I looks in here and I says, Stripes, this is where the bullets come in. So I runs downstairs and I finds Finney, the cop on the beat. Honest to heaven, that's all I know.
We'll see about that. All right, come on, get up.
This guy with the hole in him is a screwball, Lieutenant. He's one of them kingdom people what's against everything. Look at them books all around. I tell you... Oh, don't!
All right now. That's to make you keep quiet and listen now.
First you want me to talk and...
Shut up.
Maybe this double dome on the floor does belong in the funny house. But that's no excuse for you to kill him.
Honest to heaven, all I know is this guy's name's Marsden. That's all I know.
Dipsy, you're all washed up. Now just listen to what you expect me to believe. This room is at the end of the hall. You're in the next room down, you hear a shot. You think this Marsden creep's taking the shortcut home, so you run out and you look in here.
Yeah.
You don't see no rod. You don't meet nobody.
Yeah.
You killed him.
Honest to heaven. Oh!
You thought stashing away the gun was smart, didn't you, huh? They couldn't pin it on you that way. That's where you were wrong. A gun could have been suicide.
But, Lieutenant...
No gun and it's murder. And you're the murderer, because anybody else would have had to pass you in the hall.
I swear it was like I said. I swear it.
Yeah. There's one other thing that's phony, Dipsy. How can you be so cockeyed sure about the time?
Well, that's easy. I ain't always lived in a flop house. I used to work in a watch factory. Sometimes now I do repairs for Joe's pawn shop over on Main.
Joe? Repairs. Okay, we know Joe is a fence. You alter identifications for him, huh? Well, that's going to help you a whole lot.
So I'm setting this watch in my room, see, when I hears a shot.
Yeah?
That's how I know what time it is, Lieutenant Barker. When Marsden gets it, it's exactly 7:06.
Car 17A. Go to home of Judge Gregory Westcott. Duckville Road, Compton Hills. 211, code 3.
Years on the force, and this is the first time I've ever seen a judge with a bullet in him.
It's very interesting, Lieutenant Finch. But shouldn't you be doing something about it?
Yeah, I'll always get around to that sooner or later. What are you to the late judge, anyway, Mr. Radcliffe?
His secretary. Thought you knew.
You know of any threats against Judge Westcott?
He didn't move in circles where threats against one's life are commonplace, Lieutenant Finch.
Socialite, huh? Maybe not. But all the same, the judge was on the bench. By criminality, I've never known a court officer who didn't get threatened sometime by some poor sucker.
I'm sorry if you don't find me very helpful.
No way you can narrow down the time, huh? Doctors are always shilly-shallying. It's helpful when you can double-check on them.
No, Lieutenant Finch. The judge always spent the hours from 6 to 8 here in his study, alone. He often dozed off.
I see.
I found him like that when I went in to tell him it was almost time for dinner.
Yeah. French windows. Large ground. Yes, I can see how anybody might slip in, all right. How about the noise?
Oh, the curse of civilization. A shot can be so easily confused with...
I know, a backfire. Criminality. I wish I had a buck for every time I heard a witness talk about backfires. I'd be retired and doing nicely, thank you. But the shot wasn't all. There was a brawl in here.
I heard nothing. Most of the time, I was right there in the adjoining library.
Well, you must have heard something.
Well, then it must have happened before I came here, Lieutenant Finch. Around 6:20. Or after I went upstairs to dress at 7:30. So you see, Lieutenant Finch, you're not even listening to me.
Criminality. Look what we've got here, Radcliffe. It seems the judge was murdered at just the time you said it couldn't have happened.
What do you mean?
Well, don't you see? The electric clock was jerked out of the wall plug during the struggle.
Yes, you're right.
And it stopped smack on the minute of 7:06.
Right to Joe.
Barker, come over here. Andy, another cup of coffee.
Well. If it isn't Lieutenants Finch and McDonald. How are Father Time and young Hopeful getting on?
Barker, the screwiest thing.
Yeah?
Mac here and I had 2 homicides today.
Oh?
A priest and a judge. And they both had timepieces that stopped when the murder came off.
Yeah? So what?
Yeah, but that's not all, Barker. They were both stopped at 6 minutes after 7.
Wait a minute. You kidding?
It's true. Can you tie anything like that?
Tied. Friend, I can make it look sick. I arrested a Skid Row character named Dipsy today for shooting the creep in the next room. He claims it was an accident, and all he did was hear the shot.
Well?
At exactly 7:06.
Criminality.
No. Take it easy, friends. Take it easy. You ain't heard nothing. You can add one more to the judge, the priest, and my kingdom come loony in the flop-out.
What? Hey, now, wait a minute. What do we got here?
Well, while I'm booking this Dipsy personality, a call comes in from a prowl car squad. They just dragged the dentist out of his Brennan office.
What's the tie-in?
Yeah, he was toasted up pretty. And a nice, handy little smashed wristwatch to show he kicked off at, I'll give you one guess what time.
7:06?
Yeah.
Look here. There's something haywire. If we three play our hands right, we can make sense out of it. 4 men don't die at exactly 7:06 just to confuse the cops. There's a pattern here.
Nuts.
Okay, Barker. I know you're smart. You got a sweet record of convictions, and we won't talk about how you got them. But I was in this game when we used to wear stars for badges, and I know a screwball setup when I see one.
Finch, I repeat myself, nuts. Just chance.
4 men too many for chance.
Brother McDonald, nothing's too many for chance. I've been in Padrino's gambling joint when the wheel came up red 23 times running, and me with my money on the black all the time. I switched to the red, and on the 24th, bingo, she's black. Yeah. Well, there's no pattern. It's all chance.
Well, play in on this, Barker, and I swear it won't do your rating any harm.
No. Deal me out, friends. I got better things to do tonight than play games with you. Anyway, I've got my murderer all locked up and softened and ready to sing. So nuts to you, my friend.
Hey, Finch, we got to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, sure, Mac. Me with the oldest lieutenant's commission on the force, and you with the newest. Could be. We might.
Yeah, but where do we start? Like shooting a gun full of blanks and not even having a target.
Well, first we call ballistics. About that dentist who got scorched out.
Ballistics? But Finch, he was...
5 will get you 10. There's a bullet in that body. And it came from the same gun as the other 3. Then we're going to meet up with a fellow.
Yeah, who's that?
Well, son, I've sort of shown you the ropes like around this department. You know all about the vice squad and the chem lab and Lord knows what else, but there's one section you never saw before tonight.
Huh? We live and learn.
Yeah, you're going to learn all right, young fellow. We're headed for the Chula Negra Cafe, sometimes known as the Screwball Division. Come on.
You are listening to Mystery Award Theater, and this week's selection written by Mr. Anthony Boucher, Screwball Division.
Doesn't look like he's going to show up, Finch.
Nick Noble, the head of the Screwball Division, always shows up at the Chula Negra. He operates from this booth.
Sounds like a queer duck.
Well, Nick's had a bad time of it. Sharpest man in the department once. Then he took a political rap for a captain.
Oh.
Just about the time he got kicked out, his wife died. And now, well, he's just another wino.
I don't see how a bum like that's going to help us.
But he still can think. Maybe 99 cases out of 100 you can crack with a lab or with a piece of hose the way Barker does. But the 100th one, Mac, needs a man like Nick Noble.
Thank you, Lieutenant Finch. I'm right on cue.
Huh? Oh, Nick. Sit down. We were waiting for you.
Yeah. Remarks most flattering. Friend?
Yeah, Nick. Lieutenant McDonald, homicide. Just breaking in.
Glad.
How are you?
Irrelevant and immaterial.
Huh?
Always carry my own bottle. Connoisseur. Authority on vintages unfit for human consumption.
Want him to play something special for you, senor?
Yeah, here's a buck. Tell him to stop playing.
I'm afraid it's up to you again, Nick.
Tell me, see a fly on the end of my nose?
You still seeing that fly? No. Now, listen. I really got a crazy one for you this time.
Give.
Well, first, we got a priest named Father O'Halloran. McDonald finds him and... All 4 guys off to their heavenly reward at 6 minutes after 7.
All through?
Well, what more do you want?
You don't even seem interested, Noble.
Fly on the end of my nose.
Well, what do you make of the setup?
Questions?
Okay.
Dentist. No name?
Not yet. I'm supposed to phone back and check.
Check now. Find out all about him. Especially if he's doing any kind of important work for the state.
Huh? Well, I won't ask why. Anything you say. I'll be right back.
More questions, young man.
Sure.
Are you quite certain there's no...
No, sir. There's no fly on your nose.
This man on Skid Row, this Marsden, occupation?
None. Unless you count standing on street corners passing out pamphlets.
Pamphlets for what?
Oh, Kingdom Come something or other. A lot of crackpots.
People of the kingdom?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is what they call themselves. Father Halloran's housekeeper mentioned them.
Strange people. Deny all rights of authority. No, forgive me if I return to my sherry.
Sure, go ahead. I can see we're going to get no place fast. Now, look, Noble.
Nettie, Nick. You always can pull a rabbit out of your sherry bottle.
What'd you find out, Finch?
The dentist. His name's Lyle Varney. He's foreman of the special blue ribbon grand jury investigating graft. I'll say he's working for the state. But how did you guess, Nick?
And they had a bullet in him from the same gun that killed the other three.
Right.
Well, what are we going to do?
Pretty problem. Pretty pattern. Thanks, Finch. Like old times. Proof tomorrow.
Don't mind him, Mac. He can't help grandstanding.
No grandstand. Murders tied together. Motive for time not quite clear yet. Only one murderer possible.
Hey, you mean we...
Tomorrow. Don't rush it.
Yeah, but if there's a murderer loose, well, it's our job to prevent crime, isn't it?
Very young. All right, boy. No danger. No more murders. Not possible.
Well, I'm glad you're so sure.
Now, go home. Tomorrow, boys, I'll show you your murderer.
Now, look here, Noble.
Don't you believe in lights in the hall, Doctor? Doesn't speak well for the Peerless Hotel for Men.
Never mind that. Just because once you was a cop don't mean I got to do everything you say. There was a murder in that room, and I can't let you in.
Rather discuss the little racket you practice here?
I know, but every time you stick your nose into something, more cops show up. You draw 'em like flies.
Don't mention flies, Doctor.
No, but you know I'm trying to run a respectable hotel for gentlemen. I had enough trouble with that Dick Barker. He had Dipsy up here and broke a bureau and 2 chairs.
Inconsiderate of Dipsy. His room?
Yeah. And that one next to it was Marsden's.
Want to take a look in there?
All right, Noble. I shouldn't ought to let you do this. Can't mean nothing but trouble. There ain't nothing to see. It's just another room.
Left a lot of pamphlets.
Read them somewhere else, will you, Noble? That Kingdom of the People fella always gives me the creeps.
Interesting. The number of the beast again.
Huh?
6, 6, 6.
Well, what does that mean? And why am I asking?
Should know your scriptures better.
Well,
Quiet, Doctor. Someone in the hall.
Going into Dipsy's room next door.
Put the light out. Went in. Stay here, Doctor.
What are you going to do? I don't want nobody else to get killed here. The same day, I mean.
Have to see who it is, why he's here.
Oh.
Taking a big chance. Might see you in the dark behind that flashlight. Did you come back to...
Noble, you hear me? What happened to you? You ain't killed, are you? Say something. Oh, if you got yourself killed, that Dick Barker will massacre me.
Yeah. All right. Help me up.
Sure. Did you see who it was?
Too dark.
Oh, better get your head fixed up. You got a lump the size of a coconut.
Yeah, Doctor. You might call it the mark of the beast.
Car 14B, go to Padrino's, Green Grotto, West Figueroa. It's a 211, code 3.
Padrino's cold as a mackerel in a deep freeze. Right through the heart.
I don't get it, Mac. I never saw Nick slip up before like this. He was so sure there wouldn't be another murder.
Not that I'm sorry to see Padrino go. It's one way to close up a gambling joint. But there's a killer still loose, and we don't know where he's going to strike next.
Yeah, this pattern's getting deadly monotonous.
You can bet ballistics will find the bullet and Padrino checks with the others. From the same gun.
Same pattern. He got plugged sometime between 1 and 3 a.m. But this here watch on his wrist was broken and set to 7:06.
Yeah, come in.
Oh, Screwball here insists on seeing you, Lieutenant Barker.
Who's that?
Name?
Nah, don't tell me I know. You're a Swiss bell ringer, and you lost your way.
This is Dick Noble. Used to be in the department.
Oh?
You ought to listen to some of these yarns, Lieutenant.
Look, character, it's nearly 7 o'clock, and I've got a date tonight. So why don't you make like a homing pigeon and get back to your bottle?
Tried to see Finch or McDonald, not around. You had one of those 706 cases. Marsden, the Flophouse fanatic. People of the kingdom.
Okay, friend. What's the angle?
All solved.
What?
All the cases at 6 after 7 o'clock. Yeah, solved. I have no use for glory anymore. Credit better for the force.
Uh-huh. You heard there was another guy bumped off with a watch set at the same time?
Yes, Padrino. That's a part of it. Want to hear?
Why not?
Fly on my nose. Can't get him off.
Come on.
Look at the murders, Barker. Pattern. Leave out Padrino now. Just the ones yesterday.
Yeah?
3 deaths, timed mechanically. Fakes. Priest, judge, dentist. 1 death appears timed accidentally. Your case. Marsden. Time true.
Where does that get you, friend?
Look at the men. 3 represent authority. Priest, authority of church. Judge, authority of law. Dentist, authority of state. Foreman of grand jury.
What are you building to?
Your case. Marsden. People of the kingdom. They hate authority.
You don't smoke reefers, too, do you?
Look at time. 6 minutes after 7. Why that particular time? You tell me. 7 o'clock is also 6:60, isn't it?
You're positively brilliant, Buster.
Add the 6 minutes past 7 and you get the number 666. Number of the beast. You find it in the scriptures. The apocalypse. Tied up in all the prophecies.
No, you don't say.
Great number with people of the kingdom. The beast means the state, the church. Everything they hate.
That's smart stuff, friend. Go on, what next?
Easy. Your man's the murderer.
You mean the jerk I've got in the can? Dipsy? For sure. He killed Marsden, all right. But he couldn't have killed those others.
Not him, Barker. Marsden. Your corpse.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
He had the only motive. Nobody could want to kill him and the priest, the judge, and the dentist, but he'd want them dead. He faked the 706 in each case for the greater glory of the people of the kingdom, but in his own case, the time was real. Picked that time to kill himself to round things out and match with the phonies.
Mm-hmm. And how about the gun? Why didn't I find it?
Your prisoner, Gypsy, hid it in his room. Chance for quick money. Worked with a fence. Won't admit it now. Scared of murder rap. That's the picture, Barker.
Pretty good, no? Pretty good. but just about as crazy as you are. How about Padrino? Marsden didn't crawl out of the morgue to nail him.
I know that.
Well?
That's why I'm here. No use hounding a dead man. Get the live murderer. What did Padrino have on you, Barker? How much money were you into him for?
You're drunk.
Looking for something in the drawer?
Shut your head.
Marsden killed the other, so somebody else killed Padrino.
Yeah.
Same time pattern, but authority pattern not there. So pattern was fake to shift guilt. What do you expect to do with that gun?
Can't you guess, genius?
Only Finch, McDonald, and you, Barker, knew about the time pattern, the 706. Finch and young McDonald were somewhere else when you were at the Peerless Hotel on Pacific Street last night. I checked.
A lot of good it's going to do you, Noble.
Keep your head, Barker. You can't kill me here at headquarters.
No? Everybody knows you're a bum and the worst kind of wino. Yes. You've been brooding all these years about being booted off the force. You came in here to get revenge. I had to defend myself.
You went back to Dipsy's last night to steal the gun, get rid of it. You thought when you hit me that you just sapped another bum in the hall. Yeah. And you thought even if they placed you there, what would my word be against the lieutenant? Different now, isn't it, Barker?
Got any last words, sucker? Better get them off your chest because I'm...
The trap worked, Noble, but I should have let him have it between the eyes.
No, it's better you just nicked him. A cop who turns out to be a killer doesn't deserve a quick kiss-off. Take it easy, Barker. You're all through.
Yeah? Well, you're wrong, Finch. All right, Noble. Stay right in front of me now.
The window ledge leads to the roof.
Back here, Barker.
Yeah. You see, I had this figured out, too. If you put the arm on me for taking care of that rat Padrino...
Finch, don't shoot. You'll hit Noble.
Yeah, so still make my plan perfect, don't it, sir? Yes, perfect to the eye.
Perfect to the end. Gentlemen, look at the clock on the desk. Almost perfect as that. 7:05.
Now, Dr. McHenry with his analysis of tonight's story.
And so Barker was trapped by logic, the logic of the consistent pattern of events. In like manner, when we read the news and see the pattern in what people do, we can judge the candidates for whom we vote or the nations we help or oppose. Thus, in our recreational literature, too, we discover valuable instruction, brought to us this time by poor old Nick Noble, a strange modern counterpart of the ancient Greek oracle of Delphi, the mystic counselor to whom the public officials of Greece went with problems too puzzling for them to solve. The oracle found solutions after inhaling mystic vapors and imbibing a liquid. The Delphic oracle, you see, is a classic parallel for the wino in the restaurant booth. But that's getting into the author's field, and I think you should meet him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anthony Boucher. Thank you, Dr. McHenry, for a penetrating analysis and for your dramatization. It was a grand presentation of my story. May I say a word on behalf of my colleagues?
You certainly may.
For my association, the Mystery Writers of America, I want to thank you for this splendid way of using our work. We'll continue to make our very best available to you. What have you chosen for next week?
A story on which I know you'll agree with me. Pieces of Silver by Mr. Brett Holliday, your famous creator of Michael Shayne.
Oh, yes. One of his best.
Join us again at this same time next week. Hear the weird story of a man killed to protect a young girl, but killed for an act not of his, but of the girl's own father. Mystery Award Theater is produced by Lee Crosby and George L. Fogel.
Welcome back. Well, a very distinct way that Nick Noble spoke that they apparently tried to adapt to radio, just very simple, strung-together logic. I did like their working in the Oracle of Delphi. That's definitely a highbrow type observation, one I don't think I would have ever called on. The solution as well was pretty ingenious. And I love this episode just because it gave us a look at one of those forgotten figures in detective fiction. So I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope you'll be back with us on Monday. We're going to have Barrie Craig, and then join us for the rest of our programs. In the meanwhile, send your comments box 13 at greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives, and give us a call, 208-991-4783. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho.